Nerds.
Listeners, as we go into a new year, we all have a lot on our plates. There are backpacking trips across Europe to plan, personal bests to crush in the gym, and capsule wardrobes to create. Good thing our sponsor, NerdWallet, is here to take one thing off your plate, finding the best financial products. Introducing NerdWallet's 2025 Best of Awards list, your shortcut to the best credit cards, savings accounts, and more. The nerds have done the work for you, researching and reviewing over 1,100 financial products to bring you only the best of the best. Looking for a balanced transfer credit card with 0% APR? They've got a winner for that. Or a bank account with a top rate to hit your savings goals? They've got a winner for that too. Know you're getting the best products for you without doing all the research yourself. So let NerdWallet do the heavy lifting for your finances this year and head over to their 2025 Best of Awards at nerdwallet.com/awards to find the best financial products today.
From the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel takes the NFL playoffs to the next level. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's $300 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. The FanDuel app gives you everything you need for live bets, same-game parlays, and so much more. Plus, when you win, you'll get paid instantly. Just visit FanDuel.com/betbig to join today and get started with $300 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com/betbig. Make this playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 and up and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. Or 18 and up and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpline.ma.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Because I'm in the no something zone.
No judgment zone.
No judgment zone.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't look down on anybody except for people that are pathetic and really overweight people.
Are you on Tommy Dreamboat's workout plan now?
Wayne.
Oh, Wayne. You on Wayne Dreamboat's workout plan now, finally?
It doesn't really work with Wayne, does it?
Wayne's not a real dreamboat name,
not.
and that's no offense to anybody who's listening who's named Wayne, but I'd be stunned if you're a looker.
And that's the bottom line, because Steve E. Tortellini said so.
Ooh-wee.
That's a one spicy meatball! So we had a good laugh about your receding hairline.
The video wasn't receding. That was a horseshoe cut. It's not even... It will never get that far. It's ridiculous.
Hey there. Hey there.
Oh boy, feels like it's been an eternity, Steve.
I know, and it's only been a week.
Well, didn't we record extra early last week, or was it just regular Monday?
Yeah, I don't remember. Don't remember one bit.
It all blends together.
I know.
I think, what are we on? Like, is this episode 30? I don't know, 36?
I don't know. Trying not to count. I don't like counting, as I described many, many months ago in our first episode. Every time you put a number on that episode, it means that there's the anticipation that there's got to be another one.
Right.
And I don't like that. I like knowing that at any time we can quit. We can quit and walk away.
And that's a threat. And
That's
I
right.
expect everybody to hear it as such. So please keep the interactions coming, because that's the only thing that keeps me coming back to this chair every week. I'll have you know, Steve, that when I was putting together that introduction yesterday, my wife got copious amounts of joy from the spicy meatball line.
She enjoys that, huh?
Because I was trying to isolate it. You know, it's minutia, but I'm moving things around, so I play it.
And you're hearing it over and over
so
and
it's
over
on
again.
loop for a minute.
Yeah.
And normally I have headphones in, but I didn't want to walk all the way to the spare bedroom and get them. So I was just playing it over the air. And she laughed every single time that came up.
So you're sitting there and you hear, that's a one, that's a what, that's a
Right.
spot, meet the meet,
Right.
meet it.
So I finally get it. I isolate it, and then I put it into the intro, and I play it to make sure the level's right. All this boring stuff.
Yeah.
And so I keep playing it, and every time in the background, it's this like this laugh.
So we got a fan.
There is a Steve E. Tortellini fan
Good.
out there.
Good.
I
Good to
feel
know.
like that would catch on in the backyard wrestling game. And I only feel like that because I feel like you'd walk in with like the Swedish chef's hat from Muppets. And, obviously what you'd rip off on the walk to the trampoline filled with thumbtacks would be
a chef's coat,
like black or white or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd rip that off.
And then my shirt just has either the Italian flag, maybe a pile of spaghetti, a couple meatballs.
Yeah, some authentic Italian clip art right in the center of your shirt.
It's gonna happen one day, man.
Right.
We're gonna get this wrestling team together.
Even if we just film a backyard wrestling entrance with, I guarantee you, MacLeod has some generic Italian sounding music.
This whole conversation just reminded me, actually, of one of the most embarrassing moments of my young life when I was in college, because I think that, like, obviously we joke around, like you and Jason joke around about how you have you're a wrestling tag team.
Yeah.
You're never going to actually pursue a wrestling career.
Right. I feel like when I hit 30, that was one of the hundreds of things that had to officially die on the vine.
So, and I think that every guy, at some point in their life, did something similar to that,
right.
Or you had a fake band with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like, oh, I'm the bassist, you're the bad boy, like you're the lead singer.
Then one day, man,
yeah,
we're going to be selling out the bowling alley.
Yeah, I mean, I know I did.
all the chicks.
I was in a fake band in college.
Were you really?
Yeah, we were called Spine Shot.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was also...
What was your instrument, by the way?
I don't remember.
I
don't think we ever really.
Were you the looker? So you just stand back like bob your head?
No, I definitely did because I had longer hair back then, so I was like the mullet bassist.
Oh yeah.
But my the name Spine Shot originated because it was freshman year, and we were walking across campus. We were gonna go. I think we were I don't know, like going over to play something at the gym. Like we were going to shoot hoops at the gym or something.
Going to go ball in front of the ladies.
Because my friend had a basketball. He didn't have a basketball. He had a mini ball. And there was a rabbit running through the grass. And my friend, who I don't know why he did this, but threw the ball in the direction of the rabbit. And normally animals run away when they see something coming at them. Well, this thing just laid there, and it got hit with a ball, and then it like had this weird wobble to it. And somebody said, like, "Oh man, he took a shot right to the spine."
Oh yeah.
And then someone said "Spine Shot," and then it was, that'd be a great name for a band. And then fast forward a couple of weeks, my graphic designer friend had come up with a logo for us, and we spray painted it on the hood of one of my friend's cars.
Now, where does the graphic designer friend's logo of Spine Shot equate in terms of the Steve & Kyle podcast logo?
It's right up there.
I figured as much.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it was freshman year, so he was very early on in his graphic designing phase. But but yeah, it was pretty good.
So was there like a clip art lightning bolt?
It was it was two S's, which in hindsight, probably a very bad idea because people, a certain group is...
With a light... Now that I think about it, there was a lightning bolt, and it was right down the middle.
Yeah, a certain group kind of ruined that logo about, 70 years earlier.
A bunch of jerks.
Yeah, so... But we also had... that was like the only time in my life, that couple-year span was the only time in my life that I watched wrestling. And So we'd sit around watching wrestling and like, oh, what would your finishing move be? What would yours be? And then one thing leads to another. Next thing, you got all the couch cushions on the floor.
You're wrestling.
And that's your wrestling ring.
Yeah.
And I remember we actually planned out an entire 2-minute long match. And it was me and I believe my friend Ray versus my friend Frank and one other person. I don't remember who it was.
So tag team match.
Yeah, obviously tag team match. And it was at their they had a townhouse off campus. This is sophomore year, 22 Matilda Terrace. So we were hanging out on either a Monday night watching Raw or a Thursday night watching SmackDown because, of course, we wouldn't be out doing anything else on a Thursday night.
This is college, right? Yeah. That's what you do.
Yeah, this is how you party. And there were these 3 really, really attractive girls that lived next door. And it was like open door policy, I guess. You come and go as you please. Okay. I didn't live there, but that was...
So it was like the door unlocked or open?
I don't know. I honestly don't
just
remember.
Kind of unspoken or spoken between them. Like, yeah, you want to swing by? Come on through.
Yeah. So, wouldn't you know it, that in the middle of our wrestling match, the door swings open. Hey!
No, is this like door swings open like a porno where they're wearing like, sports bras and underwear? Like, our door's locked. Can we stay here?
No, it would. Looking back on it, it was probably something like, yes, they were wearing that, but their boyfriends were standing behind them. And then they said, "Can you park our boyfriends' cars in your parking spots while we go and have sex?" Okay.
We're not going to be quiet either. You're going to hear it.
Yeah. And don't worry, he has the same name as you. So
you can imagine, I guess.
Just to add insult to injury. So, but we had actually set up a video camera to record it. So I think at this point I would pay upwards of like $1 million to get that video, because I remember distinctly in the video we're trying to wrestle, doing these stupid moves, and then off camera you hear the door swing open and you hear, "Hey, what are you guys up?"
Stopped in their tracks.
And I ran out of the living room. I ran up the steps.
They'll never know it's me. I'm out of here. I could just see it now. Like, you run, you got, you're sweating. You still got your hair slicked back, from band practice. Yeah. And you run, "Steve E. Tortellini lives." As you go away.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I never got that far. In my freshman year.
Don't tell me that. Say that you did, just so it feels.
Well, no, I never got that far in band creation.
Oh, okay.
You're a step ahead of me there. I mean, obviously, my brother and I staged wrestling matches for our entire youth. That's why half of my front teeth are half bonded, half whatever, because he punched them out.
Yeah.
But no, my band creation, I actually have a band creation story. I think it was freshman year of college. Don't know why I said college.
It's all right. Keep moving forward.
We went.
By the way, while we're at it,
we haven't even introduced the show yet.
I know. Oh, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast. It's Monday, April 10th, 2017, the year of our Lord. Recording once again on a Monday, to be released on a Tuesday because we got important stuff to do tomorrow.
And I can already guarantee you, the timer's off, but I can already guarantee you.
Oh, good.
One thing that's not happening today.
What's that?
Cheers, chat.
It's funny because you'll be surprised to know that we put it on the schedule.
It's on the schedule.
It's on the schedule with that eternal question mark.
It's in front of a question mark, but still it's there. So very briefly, my band creation story. I think it was my freshman or sophomore year of college, and me and some friends traveled to the great north side of Michigan. When I say north side of Michigan, I mean, Steve, as far north as you can physically go.
Okay.
So 9.5 hours.
All right.
And he was going to school up there, which, as you can imagine, is a straight all men's school. It's like 90-10, something crazy, right?
Okay.
To be an engineer.
What school? That's Michigan Institute?
Michigan Tech.
Yeah.
Michigan Tech. So for engineers, great engineering school. So we get up there, and we're just there to spend like 3-4 days, and we ended up on the way up to kill time creating our very own death metal band.
Oh, good.
Obviously, my favorite type of music.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that you're extremely talented at.
Right. Yeah, you can't catch me not screaming hateful words. And I say that in jest. Don't have death metal people messaging us on Twitter.
Like what you want.
Right. So we developed the band Burnt Fetus.
Burnt Fetus.
On
Very
the way
nice. Good.
up to Houghton, Michigan. And we actually had at one point, so this is how far back this was. We had our printed out MapQuest directions that I was writing our debut album's track listings on. And those got thrown away in, whatever, in the swath of things. And we ended up losing them. But still, I remember a few. Now, the main ones I remember were Sodomy Bomb.
Oh, that's good.
I know.
It's got a nice flow to it, a nice ring.
Yeah.
The alliteration is good.
Patricide of the Condemned, where I actually wrote the entire lyrics to that song.
Oh, so you wrote a song. You're a legit musician.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the lyric here, I can recite the lyrics for you very quickly.
Okay.
Kill your parents, kill yourself. That's 3 times over. Guitar solo. Kill your parents, kill yourself 3 more times. Wrap it up.
Okay, so the song clocks in at, about 54 seconds?
Well, it depends on the solo. I think you could stretch to 1.50 if you really want to.
All right.
And then the last one I remember was R.A.P.E. We hadn't figured out what it stood for yet.
Yeah.
But that was the debut album of Burnt Fetus.
Oh.
So fast forward, must have been 5 years after that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Let me try to find this one because I feel like I got a lawsuit on my hands because there is a death metal band that goes by Dying Fetus.
Oh, well.
I feel like they're touching my toes.
Yeah.
Like they're not on them, but they're like, listen, we're going to get close enough to make you feel it.
Yeah. I guess it all depends on how that kid died.
I mean, they're formed in 1991, but I still feel like,
Well, they time traveled.
I guess
it's the only obvious
little tidbit I didn't know before about 1 second ago that they were formed in 1991.
Well, lawsuit canceled.
Turns out,
good luck with
I actually may have a lawsuit on my hands the other way around, Steve. Briefly looking at our rundown, Steve, not to pull back the curtain too much, there was something we teased last week and we didn't even include.
What was that?
We have to talk about your marriage counseling.
Oh, no, we don't. It was
canceled again?
It was postponed. This time it was Pastor Kent was very sick. We were supposed to go there last Wednesday. And I guess it was on, but we filled in something else that we could probably talk about.
Well, it's not like we need anything,
right.
but
no, we have no shortage.
I guess my question is, what did you do the first time to so offend Pastor Kent that you have now canceled twice?
We didn't cancel the second time. I won't even say that we canceled the first time. We merely asked for a postponement because...
so there's a buck passing going on?
So it was a travel week and things were a little hectic.
All right. So what's going to happen when November 17 rolls around and Pastor Kent goes, guys, I'm sorry. I can't do this tomorrow. I don't trust you. Do you go to the backup or do you push the wedding until you can, or do you do a cram session, do 3 counseling sessions
we
that
hang out
day?
there for like 7 hours.
Right, guys, the rehearsal dinner's canceled. Family, friends, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Go enjoy some drinks at your leisure.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll squeeze this wedding in tomorrow, but we got a couple more hours.
Right, Annette and I have a final to take by about 8 o'clock Friday night.
Yeah, the first time we had to cancel. And emailed him and said, hey, can we postpone it? And he said, no problem, next Wednesday. So then last Tuesday came around. We got a note from him saying, I'm on day 3 of this terrible flu. So if we could push it back to next week, great. So instead of going there, we instead met with a DJ. And I think we got our DJ.
Well, first of all, my phone didn't ring, so I know something went awry. Because I was told I'd be a very pertinent help to the DJ process.
Yeah.
Because there's a song list, there's a discussion that needs to be had.
Oh, don't worry.
If I have, anything that sounds like Shania Twain, I'm leaving the building, and you can pass it on to your lovely fiance.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll let her know.
Boy,
but yeah,
what?
I think we met with a DJ and we're going with him. He's great.
Oh, nice.
Seems exactly what we want. Knows that he's not the star of the show.
Right.
Which
you guys got it all lined up though. You got the chicken dance scheduled.
No
You've
chicken
got
dance.
No. Got all the specialty dances lined up.
Nope, not doing the specialty dances. There might be a little flavor thrown in there here and there.
All right, that's good. Now, quickly back to Pastor Kent.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, he sent you a very passive aggressive email after your first postponement, and well, Steve, we can go ahead and postpone it. I know a real good sign for things to come, and you're just going to postpone everything in your marriage. I mean, that's not the way good couples work things out.
No, that's not at all what his note was. It was
like Pastor Kent's got some anger issues that he's taking out on you.
Yes, it's him. It's definitely him. No, he couldn't have been nicer with his response.
Well, not the way I heard it.
Oh, you talked to Kent?
Well, see, he blind copies me in on those emails. Right. That's just a personal thing between Kent and I.
Yeah.
I don't have to call him Pastor Kent. I just call him Kent.
PK.
Absolutely. But okay, so is it scheduled again, or are you just on hiatus?
It is scheduled for 2 days from today. It's scheduled for Wednesday.
So we can tentatively pencil in what we teased a week ago.
Yep.
Next week, we can get all the answers to if Steve and Annette are actually going to work.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we've
Because
already
class 2 is from my experience, that's the heavy hitter.
I should go upstairs and get our sheet.
Did you fill out like a questionnaire?
Oh, we filled out. Both of us individually had to fill out. I think it was 300 questions. 300.
You get out of here. 300?
It took me a day and a half.
I have $29,000 in student loan debt. I wouldn't do a 300 question quiz if I paid for it in college. Are you kidding me?
It took forever.
Now, true, false, or like fill in answers?
No, it was the ones where it's strongly agree, neutral,
nope,
disagree, strongly disagree.
You burn it. I'll be verified by the online ordinance of space by tomorrow. I'll get you two married this November, and I'll get you married right.
Well, as much as we appreciate that offer, and I'm sure that you'd make it just fantastic and a day to remember, there's not a chance in hell that we will be doing that.
But yeah, for being so non-traditional, you're being awfully hell-bent on being super traditional.
So we both take like 2 days to fill out these 300 question surveys each.
Right.
And then it ranks you in like 10 different categories. So it's like it rates your compatibility in like financial matters and like family planning.
You guys should have just both signed up at Match.com, done whatever, what is it on the commercial they talk about? Like, do our 7-hour survey and you'll find the right partner.
I don't know if it's 7 hours, but
the equivalent.
Right.
Do each of those, compare it, be like, oh, hey, we're good to go, and then move on with your day.
Let me tell you that we were told by Pastor Kent, or PK as you call him,
obviously, on a personal level.
He, the one category, we scored a 10 out of 10, and he said he has never seen that before.
Ooh, don't tell me. I want next week.
I don't remember the category.
Oh, okay, so next week I want you to list the categories, and I'm going to guess what you scored 10 out of 10 on.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely do that.
Oh, this is going to be so fun. I was so excited for that today, and then we sat here for a half hour, planned out everything.
Yeah.
None
of which we've gotten to yet. We've jumped all. We've talked about 3 different things, none of which were on the.
I don't know of a better time in the podcast to talk about the times we both made bands
than right off the top.
Right now at the top of this episode. But no, we sat down for a half an hour. We scheduled it. I clicked record. You clicked play on the intro, and I thought, oh yeah, Steve's marriage counseling.
Yep.
Well, here we are.
Sorry about that. Hopefully next week I'll have some good stories for you.
I can't wait to ask so many questions.
I hope somebody goes rogue at the thing on Wednesday. Like
I really want
PK.
I want you to come in next week and finally for you to be on my side of this. Be like, yep, he's kind of passive aggressive and he's kind of a dick.
To finally be on your side. Yeah,
you're teetering.
You've been ragging on him for upwards of 4 minutes now.
I feel like you're teetering, Steve. You want to come over to this side? Now, I may have asked this before, so forgive me. Yeah. Is Pastor Kent? Is it a family friend or somebody recommended, or you just found him in a phone book? No,
it's somebody that a guy that Annette works with at the music store is I guess you would say he's like the leader of the church band. So every now and then he would say to Annette, "Hey, do you want to come and play with the band on Sunday?" Mm-hmm. And she would go. So she's been playing there for probably a year or so. Not every Sunday, but maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. And she just really likes the church, really likes the pastor.
Right.
So I went there a couple times with her, and I was like, "Yeah, I really like it. The guy is super nice," and met with him for a little while after church one Sunday, and we were like, "Yeah, this is the guy. Let's do it."
Nice. Well, that's good because, I'd frequented that church and I've heard some things like the pastor's a bit passive aggressive.
I mean, they put it on the marquee every week.
Pastor Kent, kind of a dick. That's not fair.
No.
I mean, everybody listening knows that's not fair, and it's obviously totally joking. And, Annette, when you listen to this in 3 months, know that is a total joke. I'm sure Pastor Kent is a great man.
Yeah. It's not even his real name. I specifically changed his name.
Well, PK sounds great now.
So no monsters listening can track him down.
Email him. Yeah. Hey, you're kind of an a-hole. What? Oh boy, that'd come back to bite you in class.
Oh, but yeah, that wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good at all. We'd have to find a new church, and
nobody wants that.
No, not at all. I want to take a quick moment to thank everybody again. We had another huge, well, not huge. I'm not gonna exaggerate.
For us,
we had a pretty big week of downloads.
Right.
I'm really hoping that this is it's like the new norm. I'm hoping that this is now the rule and not the exception. That we're getting a very steady amount of downloads every week with every episode.
A minor shuffle here on the fly. I feel like I know why we've gotten a bump.
Okay.
Because we've entered, kind of a celebrity is now a fan, Steve. We now have the endorsement of Chicago comedian Molly Rayner.
That's true.
For the Steve and Kyle podcast.
That's true.
Now, this dates back probably a month ago, and it comes to a head 48 hours ago.
This was all, and it's funny because I didn't know that you were in the loop on a certain thing.
I never brought it up because I was like, this is going to come back at some point. And I was waiting to either utilize it or mention it at the right time.
So this was, probably a month ago on the radio show on Free Beer and Hot Wings. We had, she was a woman named Molly Rayner. She is from West Michigan originally. Mm-hmm. She now lives in Chicago. She is... she's an improv and sketch comedy or sketch comedian, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
I don't know all the lingo, but she was doing a show in town it's called Laugh Fest, and it's a big 2-week long comedy event, and proceeds benefit Gilda's Club, and it's a great event. So she was in town, and we had her in the studio. And this would be great. So I got in touch with her, and I said it would be really fun if you could come in and teach us some improv on the air, and we'll make fools out of ourselves. It'll be funny.
Right.
We'll promote your show, and everything will be great. Well, she came in. We had a blast. It was so much fun. And after the show, everybody on the show was tweeting at her like, "Hey, thanks to Molly Rayner for coming in. Great time. Go see her show tomorrow night." And gave the info for her show. What the hell?
Dude, I just noticed that. There is, I don't know if you heard this, I think Annette bought Jumanji and is playing it upstairs.
It sure sounds like
because there's some rhinos with a side of baby elephants running around your upstairs right now.
It's a bit loud up there. Bit loud. So anyway, let's
Can you imagine this in the old studio, though?
Oh, my God.
We would have just stopped, right?
Yeah.
There's no... I'd have rather been doing this in the monsoon going on outside than if we were 10 feet away from... whatever raging stampede is happening upstairs.
Good Lord. All right, I'm going to try and not get distracted by this, but it's going to be very difficult.
And if you had to rate, is this as bad, better, as bad, or worse than the cat? For you, personally.
This is worse.
You think this is worse?
Yeah, this is worse because this is controllable.
So it's worse in that manner, I guess, in terms of distraction-wise.
Oh, yeah. It's right up there.
It's right up there?
Yeah,
okay.
Right up there.
Because I talked about it before, when I hear that stuff, and when we used to hear Lola, and then when we hear one of the cats do that, I would just try to talk a lot so we couldn't hear it.
Right, yeah.
So that way, she's going to stop any second now. If I just keep talking with whatever thought I have going on, I'll just use more words than I would ever need to possibly use in one sentence.
No silence, no silence, no silence.
And then it'd be like a pause. But
anyway,
yeah, so if you can hear that, that's what's going on. Annette bought Jumanji, or found Jumanji, as we all know. You find that in the attic.
Right, yeah. All right, so back to what we were talking about. So after Molly was in studio with us a month and a half ago, we had a great time. After she was in, everybody on the show was tweeting at her and saying, hey, thanks for coming in. Great time. Go see Molly tomorrow night at her Laugh Fest show.
Right.
So then, like 2 weeks ago, I also tweeted that out. And, just pulled up my phone. Thanks, Molly Rayner.
When you handle, it should be said to you, for the most part, you will handle the social media and the tweeting from the radio show account.
Sure, yeah. Now so on my phone, I have the Twitter app. I have 3 accounts on it.
Yeah.
I have my personal account. I have the Stephen Kyle account. I have the Free Beer and Hot Wings account.
Yeah.
So I opened up the app, tweeted at Molly, not realizing I was logged into the @StephenKyle Twitter. And then I realized that this is probably 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I didn't realize it until probably 4 or 5 o'clock that night.
And it was the generic, thanks to at Molly Rayner for being in studio today. Same thing like you said.
Right.
Obviously meant from the radio show because she wasn't on the podcast.
Either the radio show
personal.
Or my personal one. I'm sure both at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going through Twitter later, and I'm on my personal one, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's weird. I tweeted this earlier. Where is it? And then I realized, oh, crap. I was logged into the Stephen Kyle one.
Right.
So I go to the Stephen Kyle one, and I see that she's not only replied, or she's liked the tweet, she's replied, and she's also followed us. So I'm like, uh-oh. No big deal. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No,
it's not like
all.
We're in trouble or anything.
Right, no, exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't have been brought up.
So I deleted the tweet.
Yeah.
And then I just tweeted the same thing from my personal account. And at that point, I thought that it was
done.
It was
all
done
set,
and over
right?
with.
Yeah.
So then,
flash forward to
about a half hour ago.
Yeah, and the live show this weekend.
Yeah, we had
in Grand Rapids, Free Beer and Hot Wings had a live at night show. Molly Rayner taking part in that.
Yeah, she came back because we thought, oh, that would be great at a night show. That would be so much fun to have her on stage. We're making fools of ourselves. We pull a couple of listeners up. And,
yeah, so I see on Twitter, and this must have been about 5 o'clock on Saturday, that Molly had tweeted. And I was like, well, that's weird. I don't know why I'd get that notification. And it was so excited to be a part of the Free Beer and Hot Wings live at night show. Going to be a fun time, whatever. And then meant to tag everybody.
Stoked to be a part of at FBHW live at night show. Going to be #stupid fun with these guys.
And then tag Steve, all the guys, right? All the members of the show,
right? At Free Beer Greg,
yeah.
At Hot Wings FBHW,
yep.
at
Joe's
FBHW there. Justin,
yeah.
No Joe, but at Stephen Kyle.
So we got a shout out from comedian Molly Rayner, who also is a follower of this Twitter account, and I'm assuming a devout listener to our program.
Yeah, of course. So it's funny that she left Joe out. But...
Does she even follow you personally? Have you checked?
I don't know.
Because she obviously at this point, and this is not her fault, she obviously thinks Steve and Kyle is simply your personal Twitter.
She must.
Or she just started typing in at Steve, and that's the first one that came up.
Through no fault of her own, would she know? Because I was the one that tweeted at her.
Right.
She replied. Now, she tweeted later that night, best night, great show at FBHW. Thanks for having me, and stay classy, Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
At Free Beer Greg, at Hot Wings FBHW, at No PH and Steven, at FBHW Justin, at Stephen Kyle.
Yes! Still no Joe!
So Joe Joe got shafted twice, and Steve and Kyle got 2 mentions.
The old podcast got two mentions.
That's right.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, that's going to be our pinned tweet when she becomes super famous. We're going to be like, oh yeah, don't worry, Molly Rayner, big fan of the podcast.
Yeah, that's funny because I didn't, obviously I remember what happened a month ago.
Right.
Didn't remember at all I didn't even notice those tweets the other night until like 20 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah, I saw him right away, and I thought, I can't believe this is actually happening.
Yeah.
And I was hoping it was just going to become a running thing where anytime she'd be in town, she'd tweet it, and maybe somebody would eventually pick up on it, but doubtful. But
That's so funny.
That was great.
Because I right before we sat down here, I opened up Twitter on my computer, which I almost never do.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
And I pull it up, and I'm like, why am I seeing stuff with Molly Rayner on the Steve and Kyle? And then I'm staring, and I'm like, did I change my avatar by mistake on my personal one to show the Stephen cut? I'm like, crap.
Right. Well, we accept all followers. So, right. Molly, welcome to the pack. I'm sure you're listening right now.
Is that what our listeners are called?
I have no
idea.
Boy, I feel like you step into a bit of a douchey level when you start naming your listeners and your super fans. Like, can you imagine?
Oh, I got an idea. I know what we can be. Well, because Steve and Kyle, so SAK, the Sack Pack.
The Sack Pack! Hashtag Sack Pack.
Yeah, hashtag Sack Pack if you're listening to this show. That's
right.
SAKPAK.
Boy, I don't know if I'm going to be okay with this because, like I said, I really think when your listeners have a name for their base or you give them one, that is one of the biggest atrocities you can do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that's not fair. Like, what is Stern's people called?
Well, Stern has the Whack Pack.
But those are like the regulars.
Right, those are the,
So his listeners are just, they don't have a name.
O&A, they had the Pests.
Okay. So I guess it does happen. I mean, you see where it got O&A.
Yeah. Anthony currently doing his show in a very similar setting to ours right now.
I beg to differ. I would bet he does not have an inch and a half worth. Dude, did you see that? The stomping is so loud on your left armchair. A piece of the ceiling just fell down.
Well, that's nice. That is really nice.
I watched it flutter.
And the crazy thing is, you know what's going on upstairs right now?
Is it a violin lesson?
A violin lesson.
That's what I thought. Because you had mentioned it before, and that's been doing a few out of the house occasionally. Yeah. And I think last week, or whatever, when I was here, there was one. And we just walk in. We walk right downstairs anyway, and going right into the APS. But I think violin lessons turned into play with Lola.
It's bad. It's really bad. And again, the problem is this is going to be Monday nights.
Oh, is it?
From 5 to 5:30, so I think that...
we can just do a 5:40 record time then.
Although it's 6 o'clock right now.
Well, like I said, it turned into play with Lola time.
It's bad.
I'm sorry. I totally digress. I don't even remember what I was saying.
No, neither do I.
Oh,
no clue. That's how distracting it is.
Oh, hang on. Let me look.
Oh, the Sack Pack.
Oh, yeah. So, there's no way Anthony has 2 3/4-inch thick pieces of lumber.
That's right.
Screwed into the concrete that he's recording on. So how dare you compare us to where Anthony is?
Not a chance at all.
Yeah,
are we going to get to this, or are we going to do the... What do you think?
Boy, that's up to you.
We actually got a reply. You had
that timer stopped, so I don't know what we're actually at.
Oh, that's nice.
Why don't you go ahead and add 16 minutes to that, because that's where we are.
All right. I got it running again.
I say let's bump it.
Well, we did get a reply from the tweet.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, so why don't we do that?
Try it. Yeah, let's give her a call.
This is
Leslie Ann.
Can you pull up Leslie's?
Oh, boy. We get so many notifications in a day, Steve. I got to scroll for this one. All right, it was actually right up there. So I got it. Now, we do endorse funny reviews. Yes. That's what we prefer, but we're going to allow this one to slide by. But please refer a friend / yourself program. Screenshot your review on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, whatever podcast app you use. Screenshot that. Either post it to our Twitter, direct message us on Twitter, or post it on our Facebook. Mm-hmm. All of those work. and then you will be in the running / will get a call.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 1-for-1 deal now.
Right.
You send in a review, we call you.
Yeah, you're in. You will be called for 2 minutes of awkward conversation with Steve and Kyle, where again, the onus for this 2 minutes is on you, although that's kind of digressed to now Steve and I ask you random questions and insult your families.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
So this week,
all in good fun, though.
We have listener Leslie, who, if I remember right, Leslie's like a new listener who jumped on. She tweeted, I think, like 2 months ago, like she was binging the entire
catalog.
The entire run of the Steve and Kyle podcast. And so she's on board. She left a review. It took her a little bit. Had an issue trying to leave a review. We didn't even guide her in the right direction. She figured it out on her own like a big girl.
Yeah. Way to go, Leslie.
So this is Leslie.
Review?
So her review, every time I listen, it's like I'm hanging out with my friends. It's a great break from humdrum radio. Love it.
Yeah, humdrum radio.
That's right.
None of that here. All right, let's try and get Leslie on the phone.
Leslie Ann H on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
If the Sack Pack wants to start a group together.
Hello.
Hi, Leslie. How are you?
Good.
This is your old friend Steve and Kyle from the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Getting away. I thought you were a telemarketer.
Well, we do have something to sell you.
Yeah.
Have you heard about these knives?
I'll buy them.
How are you tonight, Leslie? What are you up to?
I'm getting ready to wait for my class to start.
What kind of class are you in?
I'm taking math in college.
Oh.
Now, what level math, Leslie? Maybe I can help you out. You know, I went to college once.
You really, I'm stupid when it comes to math, so I'm like in pre-algebra.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's fine.
So that's like 7 plus x equals 10. Solve for x?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I'm going into social work, so thankfully I don't need math.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You never need math. You know why? Because phones have calculators on them.
And you know what? You're on your own.
Yeah.
I peak at long division. So you're going to have to handle those equations yourself.
All right. So, Leslie, you have about 1 minute to describe everything that you love about us. And go.
Oh, my God, you're hysterical. I love your friendship. I love that you love dogs. I love that you give 2 minutes of awkward conversation.
Leslie, I hate to interrupt. I have a question. You're a new listener, aren't you? Relatively new? You haven't been around. Okay. How did you get turned on to the podcast?
Well, of course, I love free beer and hot wings, and I love Steve. Steve is always hysterical. He's always got those one-liners that he sneaks in. And so then I listened, and I started loving Kyle. I was like, oh, my gosh, these two are hysterical. I'm addicted now.
Well, thank you so much for listening. I agree with everything you say. I am hysterical. Do get a lot of good one-liners in there. And Kyle's here also.
You know what? I sit in the same chair once a week, Steve. I do my job. I collect that paycheck. Getting bigger by the week. So you jumped on late, Leslie. How long did it take you to listen to however many episodes it was?
I have listened to them at work waiting for the free beer and hot wings to be uploaded, so I'm finally up to date after about a week.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So now,
I've got about maybe 10 episodes.
Oh, okay. So you're getting there. All
right.
So
Very nice.
I'm wanting to go back and listen to the older ones, too. So.
Well, as they get longer, that's going to be harder to do, it seems like.
Yeah.
I do have one
I
final...
love the long ones, though.
And that's the vibe we're getting, dude. Does anybody realize that it's harder for us to do longer episodes, though?
Yeah, I mean, this takes a lot of energy for us to sit here.
Yeah.
I like it when it's generic. You guys just do your thing, and you're like, okay, we're done now. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
on that note, good time to wrap up for the week, Steve.
Yeah, that speaks to our lack of planning very well.
I do have one final question for you, Leslie. Do you call into the Free Beer and Hot Wing show?
No, I do not. I don't want to be one of those losers.
Oh, jeez.
Were you going to ask her to plug the show?
That's going to be my new thing. Anybody, if you're listening and you call into the Free Beer and Hot Wing show, on your out cue when they say, all right, thanks for the call or whatever, say, you know what, thank you, and thanks for the Steve and Kyle podcast.
At Steve and Kyle on Twitter, Facebook.com.
Get me to weigh in, and I swear I'll do that.
Oh,
weigh in. Make sure I get online and I will on air and I'll do it.
Oh,
well, Steve's a glorified intern. He'll take that call.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll put you right through.
I don't do anything. All right, Leslie.
Okay, I'll do it if I ever get on.
Well, thank you so much for picking up the call, and good luck in your math class.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Another satisfied
nice.
Customer right there, Kyle.
Nice.
Another satisfied customer on 2 minutes of awkward conversation. Like Kyle said before we talk to Leslie, all you have to do is send us a screenshot of your review, or no matter where you listen to the show from, whether it's Google Play or iTunes or any of the thousands of other podcast apps. If you can leave a review, do it. Send us a screenshot of it and leave your phone number. We'll give you a call.
Please do. When we say the list is dwindling, that means this bit is dwindling.
Yeah, and this is one of our benchmarks here.
Yeah,
too, so.
If we lose 2 minutes we're literally just going to start dialing random people.
Yeah. Do you want your 1 hour and 51 minute episode to be down to 1 hour and 48 minutes? No.
And the only reason it would be down is because we forgot that at minute 43. Oh, hey, were we going to do this or not?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, Steve, I see you over there. I see you over there. You're trying to get. You're ready, man.
Listen to this. You know what that sound is? That's a great American pastime.
You're darn right.
For girls. I'm currently wearing my brand new softball mitt. Got a nice fluorescent yellow. Looks like the color of a highlighter softball. I've just been doing this nonstop for the last 5 days, driving Annette absolutely mad.
Well, in that case, you still owe her for what's happened the last half hour.
Yeah,
but
maybe if I could flip my chair upside down and jump on the ceiling, we'd almost be even.
A piece of the drop-down ceiling fell on your armrest. But no, we've been talking about it for a few weeks. The date becomes ever closer, Steve. Slow pitch softball.
That's right.
Team Steve and Kyle, actually not Steve and Kyle, is set to take the field 3 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
3. What's the date?
I don't know. Tomorrow's the 11th.
2 weeks from tomorrow, we are on the field. That leaves us 2 more practice dates.
Okay.
Until we are on the field against, I'm sure, equal competition.
Now, so I bought this glove last week.
Yeah. Fresh.
I was very happy with the deal that I got. It was a $50 glove.
Nice.
I had a $10 M-Perks coupon, so I got this glove for $40.
Took him for a ride.
Went to a nearly defunct sporting goods store.
Literally on their way out.
There are more "we're closing" signs than there are pieces of merchandise still in the store.
Yeah.
And got a pair of very, very ugly Under Armour cleats.
I didn't see a picture of my guess.
Oh, no, I didn't post a picture of them.
Oh, okay. You just sent me a picture of the box, and I was like, ooh, Under Armour, because Under Armour's pretty nice.
Sure.
And usually they're, cutting edge on their style and design, so you're telling me maybe you got like 3 years ago prototype design?
Maybe. Like one of them has like a high top on it, and the other one is like a platform shoe. So they're not to my taste. I don't really like them, but
how much were they?
They were $26.
That's right. So
$26 out the door. They don't even really fit that well.
Really? Were you like a half size off or a full size off?
They're a 10, and I typically am like a 10.5.
Yeah. So you're gonna squeeze a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. I figure I'm trying to get into shape, maybe lose a couple pounds.
Right.
Your feet shrink when you lose
that's
weight.
What happens.
Right?
I think you should punish your toes, and that's going to help your body get it smaller. Your toes will then naturally fold to that size.
Well, yeah, it's like that Chinese foot binding. Just bind my foot up into a little ball.
Right. I don't know if it's me getting older or just appreciating the comfort more. I bought a pair of shoes for work the other day, and I would not. There was 2 pairs like really close. One was steel toe, really nice. I went with the lesser of the 2 because they had 4E width, and I was like, "Oh, I'm here for comfort now." So I don't know how I'm going to look over at you pinched into a 10, like walking on your heels. Oh, my toes.
I give it 2 games before I throw those things in the river.
Right. It should be said for the first year of softball. So this is back. I was very young. I didn't even have money to buy cleats. I wore my dad's soccer cleats from 1978. Like those things that they're super they look like a torpedo. They're so small.
They probably had actual metal cleats on the bottom of them.
They were molded like regular molded cleats or rubber, but they were old and they'd been used, so it was just flat. So I may have just been running in my Nikes.
Yeah, you should have just worn a regular pair of shoes.
And they looked dumb as hell because, like I said, they're soccer cleats, so they're super small and like formed around your foot.
Right.
So I've upped my game now.
Nice.
I actually buy things like an adult.
Yeah, well, you got to do that.
So it's almost here. You're getting the glove into shape and presumably glove into more shape, giving her a workout tomorrow. Is that?
I will be at practice tomorrow. I will be at practice.
Boy, oh boy.
So the other night I was talking to a friend of mine, and she played softball at a college level.
Mm-hmm.
Huge baseball fan. Just loves everything about baseball, softball. So I was talking to her the other night, and I'd taken a picture of my glove and I sent it to her, and I said, "Any tips on how to break this thing in?" And she, within like a minute, she had sent me this laundry list, like, "Oh, you got to do this and do this and do this and this and this and this." So then I ended up seeing her Saturday night after our show, and she's like, "You should just give me your glove. I'll break it in for you. I love breaking gloves in." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, I got to do that." So she started asking me, like, "Oh, what league are you playing in?" "I don't know." "Well, where do you guys play?" "I don't know." "Well, who's on your team?"
Well, that's on you now.
I don't know. "Is it co-ed?" No clue. And you had added me. There's like a little group chat on Facebook with, I'm assuming, all of my teammates.
Yes.
And never have I turned off notifications on a message quicker than I did with that one, because within about 3 minutes, I had like 40 messages of people talking about stuff that I didn't know what they were talking about. And
you got to get caught up, and that was on me because I was late to add, which I talked about like 3 weeks ago. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just add you." And then we were sitting there talking about practice stuff, and I go, "Oh no, I totally forgot to add him."
You're planning practice without the all-star second baseman.
And what did I tell you last week or 2 weeks ago? I said this is the part where I start to like dread it, because then it's on me to coordinate with everybody, get people there, make sure people, this is the part I dread and I despise it with every fiber of my being.
So I now feel like the new kid in school,
right?
Who's trying to get into the group that's been friends since kindergarten,
which is patently untrue. One person I met last Tuesday, the other one I haven't seen in 5 years. One I see twice a year. One's my brother, and about two are really good friends. One doesn't talk. One's a coworker. Like I said, it's the island of misfit toys.
Okay.
But I would argue over 50% or 50% I know incredibly passingly. Like I said, one played softball with him 5 years ago when I sent out a message to get people's attention to see if they wanted to play this year. He was in the list and he jumped on, and he's the sponsor. One is his brother-in-law, who I haven't met. No idea who he is. Okay. Apparently he's like 34, had a heart attack 3 months ago.
Oh, good.
So I was like, hey, maybe he should pitch. Maybe he should not be running the outfield.
We have a defibrillator on the bench.
So to try to put your mind at ease, it's that way for most people.
Okay.
Right. Again, this is a team where the only tie is essentially not being pompous, but it's me. It's different strings from me to people to create this team.
All your different groups.
Right. So there's a string from me to my brother, and my brother brought one of his friends who was at practice last week. And then one kid who we played with 4 years ago, his brother-in-law, and then one of his friends.
All right.
And then me directly, two of my good friends, and then, there's you. So it's a bunch of different circles that are coexisting.
If for whatever reason we decide not to name the team next year Team Steve and Kyle, we could name it Team 6 Degrees of Kyle.
Oh, that's a great
because
name.
Everybody knows you. Everyone knows you somehow.
Right. And that's where you want to go, Everybody knows your name.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah, that's going to happen.
Speaking of which, we got something to bump later in the show.
Yeah, boy, that's right on track. No, again, to put your mind at ease as much as possible, it is not that way at all. And plus, it was two of the guys who I hadn't seen in 5 years, showed up last Tuesday, and it was just like jumping in, with a new group that felt like old friends type of deal.
So there was a practice last week?
Yes.
I missed it.
Yes.
Okay.
There was about 5 or 6 of us, essentially just hit fly balls, grounders, played in different spots, try to figure out who we're going to screw into pitching.
Now, I check in on the conversation every now and then, and I saw
So you're a step ahead of about 5 people.
I saw something about somebody needs a bat or something. Did someone buy a bat?
Well, so obviously an integral part is the bats, and I just have kind of a crappy bat I bought 4 or 5 years ago. And there's different certifications that you can use. There's ASA, NSA, USSSA. There's all these different softball associations. And in this city, you can only be certified has to be certified by one, which is the most difficult to get certified by. Because essentially they don't want bats with, it's called double walled, whatever. So it's going to be like 6 home runs a game type of deal. They don't want those in this league.
Okay.
So
I don't think they realize that home runs come from these. I'm flexing.
Which I also think is wrong. I think it comes from leg and hip rotation. But no.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But no, I'm looking forward to you getting out there and trying to muscle a few over straight upper body, right?
Yep.
So we've been putting out feelers to try to see if anybody is willing to buy a bat. We've got 2 people have bought bats. I have mine. I actually bought another one today.
How much are bats?
It depends. You can, a nice softball bat, you're talking like $300-$400.
Oh. God.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
So you go to the place I went today, and you get it shipped to your house for $29.84.
I bet it's a nice one.
Right. But I bought a different one because not really known for my power. So I wanted to try a lighter softball bat, Steve, instead of the normal. So I bought a 2-ounce less weight to see if maybe that super increased bat speed is going to really give me some pop.
All I need to know is what's the best weight to do a bat flip? Because
slow pitch softball.
That's the weight that I want.
Well, I think you're gonna talk the standard 28 because you want to bounce.
Yeah.
So you got the 28 ounces your standard. If you want a 30, you're gonna get that hard thud when you flip it and it lands.
Now, is this the kind of league where when I do, and notice how I said when and not if, when I do hit that home run in my first at bat and flip it, is that going to cause problems?
There might be. There very well might be. I've talked about the best way I can use to describe this league is, so we are in tier 2 out of 2 tiers.
Yeah.
And I wanted tier 3, but it doesn't exist. So what you're going to encounter in tier 2, and I say this from, having played some years, is you're going to get a mix of people like us and maybe some teams who have played a year or 2 together, but still they're just not great, right? But they have fun doing it. Mm-hmm. The other quarter or 33% of the league is going to be tier 1 teams who are still trying to relive high school and college, who drop down to tier 2 because they think it's going to make them feel better if they can stomp on lesser teams. And that's going to be the team where if you hit whatever, if you hit a home run, which will never happen for any of us, or a long double and you clap or you say something or you act too excited, that might be, they're going to like slow pitch you off of their plate next time.
I was going to say, what are they going to slow throw at?
Right. Or, they're just going to act like jerks or say something to you on the base, which is hilarious because they're in a recreational tier 2 softball league. Yeah.
Because first of all, how long are the base paths in softball?
Good question. Don't know.
Here's
what I'll say. So I haven't been on a softball field in, like I said, 4 or 5 years, a slow pitch softball field. So when I walked out there last Tuesday to one of the fields that we play at, I was astonished at how big the infield was because I think they give you more dirt past the bases because it's obviously not professional.
Like a professional baseball field, base paths are 90 feet. Pitcher's mound is 60 feet 6 inches.
Yeah.
Are we playing on that size field?
No.
So we're playing on probably 60-foot base paths, and
that sounds accurate. Let me see if
there's an in between.
Right.
Because I know, like Little League, I believe the base paths are as long as it is from home plate to the pitcher's mound on a professional field.
You are correct. It's 60 feet in between bases, and the distance from the pitcher's mound to home plate vary. But for adult slow pitch, it's anywhere between 35 to 53 feet. So let's call it 45, slice it down the middle.
Okay.
So it's about 45 feet. And then the actual dimension, like, Major League Baseball fields and professional baseball fields are, usually center field's about 400 feet. Slow pitch. The field we're playing on is 285 all the way across. So left, center, and right.
I don't think I'm going to have a problem.
Boy, I appreciate the confidence. I've said it before. The next home run somebody on our team hits will be the first home run somebody on our team has ever hit.
You talking over the fence? No one's ever
the fence.
No one's ever legged one out.
That's 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012.
No one's ever put one in the gap and circled the bases.
Well, like inside the park, yes, but nobody's hit one over the fence and trotted.
Get the trophy ready.
We've had a few hit on us, but I like to think that's just good pitching.
I think I'm going to be the first.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super. Listen, I can't wait to get you out there tomorrow.
We got to go to the cages, too.
I'm going Wednesday.
Yeah?
Yeah. What sucks for us is the local cages that we used to have 100 feet from here shut down this past year. So now we have to go all the way out to the ballpark for the nearest batting cages. That's the nearest batting cage.
There are no batting cages
Nope.
between here? That's like 12 miles away, 15
I know.
miles
It sucks,
away.
and you have to take two highways to get there. Yeah, no, it's probably going to be 4:30.
I got a
thing.
I got PK on.
Oh, that's right.
On Wednesday, but that's not until 6:30.
Well, it's not a big deal. Like I said, we have practice tomorrow.
Oh, it's a big deal. I just called my shot. I just pointed to the outfield.
Well, you're already planning on going to the cages after practice, so everybody's already going to see this thing happen at practice tomorrow. So the cages are just for you to wind down the next day.
What do you think would happen? I mean, when I hit that first home run in practice tomorrow,
so it depends. So,
do you carry me off the field, or
if there's enough people there, I think so.
Do I run the bases even though it's just batting practice?
So that's the thing. They kind of take away your glory in the actual game. If you hit a home run, you just go touch first, and that's it.
Oh, there's no chance that's
you're
happening.
trotting it.
Oh yeah,
and so I'm doing
every dance move I can think of.
Well, here's my question.
I might do. Remember Scotty Too Hottie when he?
The worm. You want to worm your way home,
crossing home plate.
Well, let me ask you this: every time you're up to bat, presumably I'm going to be either in the dugout. I can't imagine I'll be on base. What song should I have at the ready to blare over the speaker for when you hit a home run?
Your boombox?
Yeah, over my shoulder.
Is there really there's no PA, is there?
No, God, no.
Oh, that would be incredible if there was.
What song should I have at the ready? Now, are you thinking Hulk Hogan? Are you thinking...
No, I think the same song that I use for Dumber Than the Show trivia.
Is that the Highlander theme?
The Highlander theme, yeah.
Okay, I can get the Highlander theme on the ready every time you bat. Have a Bluetooth speaker so when it happens, just nail it. I'll line the team up right behind the plate. We'll give the high five line.
Here we are, ching, born to begin.
Everybody's like, what the hell? We had 3 of those last week. We didn't have a Highlander theme.
Then there's that screeching guitar solo.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I am immortal. I have inside me blood of kings.
It's going to be great. So practice is tomorrow. I can't wait to report on that next week, see how that went. But yeah, I'm looking to get back in the batting cages this week too, because like I said, I've never really been known for my power, but I know where my home is, Steve.
Well, you've been bulking up. I see you've been going to the gym. You ran upwards of 1 mile the other day.
And that's the peak.
That's as far as you're going?
1 mile is about the number I'm going to run. It never fails. Every time I run outside, I give myself shin splints. So bad that last night I was rubbing oil and taking ibuprofen.
Yeah.
I think my shoes are really bad. They're old, and I don't think I know how to run, if that makes sense. Where I was talking about it with Jason, with Dirk. He has a similar thing where I think he was talking about how you slam your foot down. And I think that's what I must be doing. Is. So I guess I don't know how to run because I hurt every time.
If you feel if your foot hits the ground and you feel it reverberating up through your leg,
right?
That's not right.
Yeah. See, I feel it in my jowls.
Yeah, then it's definitely not right.
Where unless you tighten your face or whatever, you can feel your skin going.
Yeah. Oh man. Speaking of that, you just reminded me of how I nearly injured myself. During wedding photos last night, or during engagement photos.
Oh, yeah, but you're going to hit a home run tomorrow. Yeah, here we go. We got Steve falling off a platform while he holds his fiance from behind to highlight a ring, but he's going to pop a homer tomorrow.
Hey, man, it doesn't take much to swing that bat, but walking really threw me for a loop last night. We're downtown and we're walking. So the one we had taken pretty much all the photos, and then our photographer, good friend of ours, she's like, all right, just do something silly or something. So we both ran at the camera, and on the count of 3, we did that thing where you jump up and you kick your heels out to the side, and
right.
like you tap your heels together. Well, when I did that, normally, when you jump and you land, you're not supposed to land with your legs like locked or your knees locked.
That's going to hurt.
And I landed not only leg locked, but sideways and landed on one leg. And I swear I felt like I shrunk 3 inches. I hit the ground so hard, and it just like shooting pain.
Oh, right.
Up my leg, into my
man.
hip, into my back. And I'm like, oh, God. I don't know. I think I'm all right, but I'm not sure.
So where did you want to play in the field again?
Second base.
Second
base, yeah.
Okay.
Second base. Don't worry, I can make the throw.
Well, we're gonna test all the options out tomorrow, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you put me wherever you think I'm gonna shine the brightest.
Right. We've been talking about it. We might do a community pitching effort because
no, that's not gonna happen.
Everybody is in the competition.
I will not pitch unless I have a helmet.
Listen, I pitched once and I got a broken nose. So if I'm in line, everybody's in line to pitch.
Yeah, then I need one of those backstop things.
Right.
Especially if I'm only 40 feet away.
Right. Oh, it was terrifying last week.
Yeah, from somebody who's no doubt bigger and stronger than me. And
right. Yeah, it's a terrifying proposition that we're staring down the barrel of.
Yeah. So do you think there's going to be instances where we get in arguments with the other team, right?
There hasn't been a year that I've played that hasn't happened.
Okay. Good.
But I'm like to say, Steve, I'm a new man.
I'm kind of looking forward to it happening though, because I don't care if we lose 1,000-1. I will enjoy it and have a good time, and I will laugh. And if the other team thinks that they're gonna get under my skin by saying oh yeah, you suck. Yeah, right. I know we do.
Usually,
it's the best part about this is that it's rec league slow pitch softball, and we're in our 30s.
I have instigated, not by me saying anything. One of my favorite things to do is to draw a walk. It drives them nuts. So my promise to myself and my team is that if the first pitch is a ball, that bat's not leaving my shoulder the next pitch. It's a promise. I don't care if I could lock and load it for a guaranteed double, because that's as hard as I can hit it. I'm not moving that bat.
And if people give you crap, you just say, well, pitch better. Pitch better, I'll hit it.
So that's what happens. I took so many walks last time I played. I love it. Because I'm on base. I don't care. I got there. Yeah. I don't care how I get there. Yeah. I didn't have to run, and I'm still here, idiot. So I'll take a walk, and while I have batting gloves, I'll take those off, and I'll start handing them to whoever's coaching first base. Mm-hmm. And while I'm walking and moving my bat to the side, I will hear I didn't want to swing anyway. You can already tell rumblings are happening. They're mad that I didn't swing, because it's no, man, it's a slow pitch. All you do is swing. I'm good.
Oh,
if I don't have to.
I'm so excited already about instigating.
Dude, if I tell you this, if I take a walk, you just watch the other team. You're going to have head shakes. They're going to have
I'm going to be the
rumbles.
First one. I'm going to stand up on the bench and cheer. And
right.
call your
please
name.
do. Because I want, hey, way to get on base. That's nice job, 8-8.
Nice job, Kyle.
Nice job, 8-8.
Nice job.
Way to take that walk. Way to work that count. Because it happens fast, because in slow pitch softball, you start with a 1-1 count. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right. Because the pace of play, you have to get the game over within an hour. So, it can happen fast. Next thing you know, you're 3-1. All right. Let's sit here and watch it. But I am no worse at doing that than the 60-something-year-old guy who we played against years ago, who would squat. I'm trying to remember the MLB player, Steve, because the only way to describe it is if this was my normal posture, he would do this.
Wasn't that like Ozzie Smith or something? It
may have been, but it makes the strike zone smaller. Yeah. So it's impossible to pitch to this guy. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't want to run anyway. He's the pitcher. He's old. He's there because he's having fun, but he still doesn't want to strike out or have to run. So he does that so he can just trot down to first. So, it's fun, man. I'm excited. I'm so nervous,
I'm looking forward to practice.
Are you nervous for the games?
No, not at all.
No?
No.
See, I'm nervous.
What?
Not for the actual, just like I said, like getting people there or having to write a lineup. Actually being in the field.
So it seems like you're more nervous about the logistics of it.
Yeah, a lot of it. But I'm also nervous about being in the field for the first time, actual game for the first time in like 5 years. So.
Yeah. I think I'll be fine. I'll be just fine.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
I think, I'll probably go like 4 for 4 first game.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Huh.
Probably 2 doubles, single, and a triple.
There have been a lot of shots called in the last 10 minutes. Home run, Highlander theme, 4 for 4.
I hope you're keeping track of all of them. So after the first game, we can go over my list of failures.
Oh, yeah, hang on. Okay. Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right.
See,
I should let me write these down
because
very
think I've already contradicted myself because I think I already said I was going to hit a home run in the first game, but then I also said I was going to go 4 for 4, 2 doubles, a single, and a triple. So maybe, we might just say 5 for 5. I'm going to hit for the cycle the first game, 2 doubles.
Oh, so should that's a delete button. We're going, I don't know how you're getting 5 at-bats, but I can't wait. 5 for 5, and you said 2, your cycle.
Yeah, cycle.
Now, not the natural cycle. You'd never call that out where you hit the single.
No,
okay.
No, come on. What do you think I am?
5 for 5, hit for the cycle. Okay.
Plus an extra double.
Oh, on top.
Yeah, because that would be the 5th at bat.
You don't want to work a walk-in anywhere? You want hits all the time?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I'm a swinger.
All right.
I swing.
All right, getting up there.
Don't worry, you'll be on base. You'll be on base because
right.
I'm gonna bring you in every time.
Right. Well, we're already working Steve up the batting order because of the proclamations he's making from a family game. How many years?
That was a year ago.
Family game a year ago.
Yep.
Steve 5 for 5 with the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Extra double.
Mm-hmm.
Lock it up.
It's gonna happen.
Oh boy. Well, the timer stopped again. But where are we at? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all that. Yep.
Timer's not really working for us this time. I don't know why.
Well, if you can believe this, we're gonna have to bump Cheers Chat.
Oh, no, say it ain't so.
I want it on record. I have made a concerted effort. I actually mentioned to Steve today that I am back on the Cheers wagon because I wanted to mention I have dwindled. I cut some TV shows. I was like, hey, I got to get back on the horse for this thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to pass me by, and I'm not going to know. So I cut like 3 TV shows, watched like 6 episodes this past weekend, which obviously not exactly like I was when I was binging it. But yeah, I'm back on the Cheers wagon, ready, willing, and waiting for Cheers Chat to rear its beautiful, beautiful head once more. Maybe next week.
Yeah, we're going to have to take that into consideration.
Now,
next
at
week.
what point do you think we can pen it in and not remove it? Like, is there going to be, because what's it, but what do you think? It's been 15? 10? 10 weeks?
I couldn't tell you.
I think it's been 10 weeks.
Not tell you. Well, let me do, I'll do a quick search on my computer for the term Cheers Chat.
Because I have got some winter storylines that I need to recap at some point. And at this point, we are dating all the way back. This is about season 3, episode 14. And the most recent one I have updated is season 4, episode 10.
Okay. It looks like, according... my documents are correct. The last time we did Cheers Chat was on February 7th.
Yeah, 2 months.
So a mere 2 months ago.
8 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah. That's normal.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to it.
Well, we never said it was going to be a regular. Did I think it'd take 8 weeks? No. But if you're counting, that still leaves it 20-some-odd weeks ahead of the Vegas story.
Oh, that's right. Man, that thing...
By the way, Tyler on Twitter reared his head again recently to say, still waiting on the Vegas story. Tyler, I promise it's in the queue.
No, that's our...
It's evergreen, Steve. It's happening.
That's our apologies to Matt Damon.
No, it's an evergreen story. That thing is... There's going to be a week where you and I sit down. We're going to scratch our heads and go, I don't know. And then it's going to be Kyle hour.
You got like 40 minutes of Cheers Chat?
And I'm going to say, yes, let me open my 4-page Word document. and get to it. Well, I know the people are waiting. I know your brother comments on Facebook about how disappointed he is, and I hear you, Mike. This is a massive disappointment to me, too. I'm actually the one putting in the legwork, so I am disappointed as much as you are. So cheers chat next week. I'm sure we'll get to that right after we talk about marriage counseling, right after we talk about softball practice.
Yep.
Well, I guess let's bump right down to these few stories we wanted to get to.
Sure. Did you talk about this right here?
No, I did want to say, just a brief mention. I did want to say thanks. There was one person. Well, there's two people who one person who tweeted at me, which huge disappointment you didn't come say hello at the live show Saturday night. Tyler. I posted a picture of the tickets and said, "Is anybody else here?" Tyler, no. Just tweeted at us, I'm a row in front of you, all on the other side or whatever. Didn't even come say hello. Very disappointed.
Very rude.
I don't know the gentleman's name. A row behind me kind of took me off guard because part of me thought it may have been somebody, not nefarious, but like wanting to ask about something else or talk about something else, which we've talked about, not going to happen anyway. Yeah. Was behind me and about 4 seats down. So when we sat down, my wife and I I kind of look around, see who's in the row next to us. Annette was down there, and I hear, "Kyle?" And I look, and I see who it was, and it's nobody I recognize. I said, "Oh, hey, man." I just said, "Hey," and turned around and said, Kate, like, "All right, 50-50, we're leaving here." Flip a coin, chance we're leaving.
Right.
And he came up to me about 5 minutes later, tapped me on the shoulder, goes, "Hey, man, big fan of the podcast."
Nice.
And I said, "Oh, thanks for listening. I appreciate it." And that was, again, I apologize. I didn't get your name.
Yeah.
Please let us know who you are. It was nice of you to say hi.
Yeah.
If you see me out at one of those or Steve out, please do. You mentioned Jesse Douglas last week, had a chat with you.
Yeah, in Green Bay. That was a lot of fun.
Please do say hi if you happen to recognize my face from this audio medium that we talk on every week.
That's right.
But Tyler, massively disappointed. But yet 2 of our listeners somehow made it on stage.
Yeah, Caleb was up on stage.
Caleb, who we spoke to a few weeks ago. We've spoken to Caleb, right?
I think so.
And then Josh, who we talked to him and his lovely fiance a week ago on 2 Minutes of Awkward Conversation was on stage.
Josh, if you remember, was the big fan of Survivor. He also had a funny tweet last week.
Yeah, that was really funny.
He said, "Almost time for to Survivor, boys."
Unreal.
And then he had that meme from Jersey Shore.
Right.
It's T-shirt time.
That's still so funny to me because that was, again, you can think what you want. We didn't know Josh was a fan of Survivor. I didn't scope out social media or anything. I had no idea. I mentioned that because it's a show my brother will watch the last few years, and he jokes with me because he knows I don't watch it. He goes, so I'll get a text about once a week, and especially before the season, I was like, "Hey, man, got that DVR set? Survivor starts Tuesday." I go, "Oh, you're not going to believe it. All full. Like, I can't fit it in this season."
Finally hit the end.
Right. Also, I was thinking of it because for some unknown reason, because Katie and I's work schedule is so kind of different and fluctuating that we watch shows separately sometimes because there's no way we'd ever watch TV together as much. So she's like, "Yeah, I was bored. DVR'd Survivor this season." So she has done beautifully, has not brought it up once to me, and I treat it like we've talked about in numerous times with The Bachelor and Bachelorette, where I hear some of it.
Right.
So I heard some of Tribal Council last week, and big upset. And according to Katie's vocal cues, it was a shocker.
Did Probst he extinguish the flame?
I'll say this: there was such a handsome man who was apparently on the cast. I thought Jeff Probst just aged 5 years and got a beard. I thought it was older, rugged Probst. Jeff. But I was like, why is Jeff sitting with him now? I go, you don't watch in 15 years. I guess some things are going to change, right?
They're going to change it up a bit.
But no, it's just an older, rugged Jeff Probst. But no, still the same gimmick. I'll go tally the ballots, which, okay, count up to 6 for me, Jeff. And then, the same.
The tribe has spoken.
Yeah, bring me your torch. You've been extinguished. But now they've glammed it up. Like seasons 1 and 2, it felt like there was like a log with 2 like support beams, and that's what they sat on. Now they've got like stadium seating with a fake boat wreckage scene behind them. Like, what?
Like you may as well have one of those, like the back of a '57 Chevy that has a seat in it.
Yeah, I just thought it was random. Like, oh, it's stage setting. You don't need to do that. You're already on an abandoned island.
Yeah,
you know, there's no need for that. Yeah. But no, Jeff's still there, still doing his thing. Best job in the world, I think.
Seriously, man, that guy must make bank off of that
because they
show.
fly him like he doesn't stay there.
No,
they fly him, whatever, helicopter him to a resort or whatever every night. He has. I would argue Jeff Probst and Bear Grylls got the same amount of like lodging.
Yeah.
Because that was the big thing with Bear Grylls. That like you're not staying there. Well, right. You know, I stay in a hotel sometimes. Like, but that's not okay.
Yeah, no, you're like he's not Survivor Man, right? No, he's
no. He was
that was Les
in
Stroud,
the wild with Bear Grylls
or
or whatever. Now he just does it with celebrities.
Yeah.
But at least Jeff's not acting like it. Jeff still shows up showered with a nice clean button down with these ragged idiots sitting on their piece of lumber.
Or their boat crash scene.
One time I want Jeff to sit down and go, how were your worms this morning? Like with a cell phone picture of his filet.
Yeah.
You know?
I ate steak for breakfast just because I could.
Threw away half of it.
All right, so this is a story I wanted to get to. You, of course, are a married man. I am an engaged man. No doubt you raised money for the engagement ring the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
By creating a GoFundMe account, right?
Well, Steve, we mentioned how we're a bit older now. So back in my day, this was 2.5 years ago, I had to have a bake sale. And I threw out some Oreos. And that's how I raised money to buy the engagement ring and wedding band for my lovely bride.
Nice. Well, now, you know what I just realized? There's been an update on this story even since we've been recording.
Really? How do you know that?
It sure looks like it because the entire the story is missing. But there used to be a long story there. Did he
but
end
look
it?
at what they're... Yeah, he absolutely did. Memorable experience. Help us trend. That's
Wedding
exactly what
next,
he's looking for.
Yeah, so as the story goes, you may have heard about this. This guy, and I apologize, I don't know any of his details. I'm assuming this
William,
is William Oliver
out of Atlanta,
from Atlanta, Georgia, wanted to propose to his longtime girlfriend. So instead of doing what any other self-respecting person would do by saving up money and buying a ring, he instead turned to GoFundMe and is trying to raise $15,000 for an engagement ring. 15 grand.
Now, we're not going to get into numbers, Steve.
Yeah.
But we're talking percentage points based on what $15,000 is, right?
Yeah.
For both of us, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're not like, hey, no, mine was like 65%. No, I'm not making that claim.
Yeah. Pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, but I will stand by it that I think the wedding ring and wedding band engagement ring I picked out was beautiful, and I think my wife loves it.
Mm-hmm.
And for my money, that's all I really cared about.
Yeah, that's definitely all I cared about.
And I also didn't have to make a buffoon of myself on the internet for it.
Yeah. But yeah, so an hour and a half ago when I looked at this, there was this whole long story and it gave the background.
So they literally just shut it down. Now, is the video an update? I know there's a small video if you go to updates.
Let's see.
Oh, just the proposal.
Oh, boy. I don't even know if I want
to watch
this.
The proposal... So did this guy propose to her without a ring, or did he just finance the ring and now needs help paying it back?
That's a good question, because you may be surprised to know that they didn't quite make their goal of $15,000.
Oh, well, I mean, it's GoFundMe, and I do see 15,000 shares, Steve, which is quite a big, good number.
That's like...
So I'm assuming they got like really close, and he probably got like, what, 12, 13 grand?
$609.
Well, first of all, you suckers who donated $600. Do you know what we could do with $600? We could have sponsored 3 softball teams.
I considered donating in like the name of the Stephen Kyle podcast.
Oh, right. It'd be seen.
Yeah, get the name out there.
Oh, we need to do that. We need to start donating to viral campaigns.
Yeah, because then like CNN picks up on the story and they say...
Screenshotted.
And there we are.
Is the Westboro Baptist Church doing any?
Let's check that out.
Now, I know that goes against what we're doing, but I think $1 is nary a drop in any bucket to help them, and we might get on the news.
This is the most pathetic GoFundMe I think I've ever seen.
I don't know how you can be okay doing that.
I'm assuming
it's just young and shameless. I mean, I'm assuming this is the guy who asked his parents too, type of thing, and everybody he knew for money.
Well, that or I'm so jaded on anything on the internet now that I'm thinking it's just
scam.
It's a guy that wants his 5 minutes of glory, or you're gonna find out it's some like YouTube star who's behind it, and they're just trying to get clicks on something.
If you've done a GoFundMe, I'd be curious to hear about the circumstances behind it, and we don't have to talk about it, but that fascinates me how you come to that decision. And because for the most part, there's the different ones. The GoFundMe is for the most part, help me, I'm in need.
Yes.
And then the Indiegogo and Kickstarter are get something for helping us make something.
Yeah, that's basically like companies starting,
right?
Like you're. People trying to start a company, trying to bring a new product to market, but they need the cash up front for development or for research or for whatever.
What would it take for you personally, on a personal level, to start a GoFundMe?
Well, for one, it would take an incredible idea, which, I mean...
I'm saying GoFundMe. So, like, what type of straits?
I don't think I would. Man, I can't imagine.
I don't know if I would. I think I'd go every other avenue. I think I would embarrass myself in front of my friends, personally and family, and say, "Can you please help me? I'll whatever, pay you back," type of deal. I get that. For my money, this flies in the face and insults what this website is for.
GoFundMe, like I want to go to GoFundMe to see, I mean, granted, I don't want to go there to see people raising money for cancer, for a cancer patient. But you know what I mean? Like, I would much rather go there and say, oh, this person obviously needs help. They're, in a tough time. Somebody died or somebody got in an accident or whatever. Yeah, but this is just frivolous spending.
Mm-hmm. It is. Oh, it absolutely is. I think the only way I'd start like an Indiegogo, whatever it is, was we need that initial kickoff of that fake brick backsplash.
Oh,
put right here, so we can start selling fake brick to listeners to be a part of the foundation of the Steve and Kyle podcast. Now, I don't even know what we'd use that money for. Mm-hmm. Now, typically, you do that, you'd sell a brick like you do at baseball stadiums and stuff. Be like, hey, you're a part of the new stadium, or you're helping finance
Memory Lane or whatever.
Yeah, and you're financing that building. Here, you're just financing Steve and Kyle's new equipment that we want.
No, you're literally buying the brick.
A fake. We're going to ship you. We're going to carve out, because it's fake, so we'll just use like a putty knife and carve out that fake brick, and we're going to mail it to you with one or both or neither of our signatures on it. And then we'll we're not going to chisel. It'd take too long. We'll buy like a rubber stamp that says, your name and date that you did it, and we'll stamp that on. We'll ship it off.
Okay.
That's the faux brick backsplash Steve and Kyle fundraiser.
That seems backwards. Normally, don't they donate and we put the brick up?
Well, that's what I thought. But then you said we're going to send you the brick.
Oh, all right. I guess we'll.
I say we put the brick. Backsplash?
Got an idea.
Oh, here it is.
Their donation gets them 2 bricks. Okay. One goes up here in the studio. One we sign and send to them.
Well, that means we have to buy 2 faux brick backsplashes so we can cut one up and send them one.
Yep.
Okay, that's fair. Just adds into the price of the actual brick.
Yeah, I know. Why are you telling me?
Adds into the price of the brick you're buying. We're going to have to jack the price up by about 25%. But the faux bricks backsplash Steve and Kyle fundraiser, which again, no idea what we're doing with it. It's a whim. I know we want new microphones, a new mixer.
Yeah, I almost ordered stuff the other day.
Did you?
I'm clicking around and I got it added to the cart. And I'm like,
I always do that.
Yeah, maybe I should talk to Kyle about this first. I don't want to go spending all the funds. Spending the slush fund. What are some other things we wanted over here? I mean, we're talking some paneling is what we had talked about. We do need some soundproofing. I also have that. I have that added to the cart as well.
And everything else, we've already got the Rocky poster.
It's true. Should we do it? Should we just pull the trigger?
I can order the faux brick backsplash idea, the actual buying the things. Okay.
Maybe equipment first. I can click the button, and we could be sounding like gods this time.
We'll talk numbers
this time next week.
Oh man. Well, we already have too much next week.
You know what we got to do? Got to start a GoFundMe for some studio equipment.
Yeah, well, all I know, Steve, is that frozen timer says 33 minutes, so we have got a long way to kill, friend.
Yeah, so we're actually at 1:26, even though the timer up there is...
Yeah, I wonder what happened up there.
I don't know.
First time it's failed us.
Yeah.
Because I used that for my notes, so the last note I have is as of... let me scroll down here. 43 minutes.
It must be something where there must be like a keyboard shortcut attached to it or something, because I've typed a few times and it stopped.
Well, about that time. We got one more thing we want to talk about.
Yeah, let's get to one more thing. That was, again, the most embarrassing GoFundMe ever. Absolutely terrible. This is a video that I saw the other day, and if you haven't seen it by now, you definitely want to go. Whoa! You definitely want to go to the show description here and check this out. It's two guys on it's a Ferrari roller coaster.
Ferrari roller coaster?
Yeah, it's a Ferrari-themed roller coaster.
Is this like a Ferrari, like kids' bed Ferrari, like you buy a novelty?
No, this one looks pretty serious.
Like
it's
built by Ferrari, or
I don't know. It's got their branding on it. It's
fancy.
Bright red and has Ferrari logos on it. But it's the kind of roller coaster where it pulls up to the station, you get in, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're going like 100 miles an hour.
Shoots you out of the gate.
Shoots you out of the gate. You go, it looks like 90 degrees straight up. Man. Come over the top, 90 degrees straight down, and then pull into the station. That's it.
So it's quick.
It's very quick, yeah. Okay. It's probably, I don't know.
Meant to jostle your insides.
Probably
then.
10 seconds long.
Oh, it doesn't seem fun to me. Like that's just it's gonna move my organs enough that I'm going to feel awful.
Well, in this case, it had nothing to do with the guy on the roller coaster, but he had a pretty rough ride because of something that happened. It looks like just as they're getting to the top on the way up. And I'll pull it up right here so you can check it out. Again, this will be in the show description, so if you want to watch this, go ahead. So here they go. Bam, right out of the gate. Starting to go up. Oh, did you see what happened?
Yes. I didn't see initial contact. I just saw him like, he's trying to have fun again. Oh no.
Don't worry, there's a slow-mo coming up. So here they are. Now the roller coaster is out of the gate, and these two guys, I'm assuming in the front row, or there's a camera hooked right up in front of them.
Well, first of all, I need to stop you.
Okay.
What in the hell are you doing wearing sport coats?
I know, they do seem
on a roller coaster.
They do seem a bit overdressed for the occasion. So the guy on the left, he's got his arm up. Yeah, this is great. The guy on the right, his mouth is like
wind flapping type of deal. Yeah.
So here we go. Super slow-mo. Oh, so they weren't even going up the hill yet.
No, they were taking off.
Yeah, they were just about. It looks like they're just starting to lift up. And the guy on the left gets smacked in the throat with a pigeon.
Now, is that... Go back like 3 seconds for me, Steve. Now, is that where before he gets hit, does it hit him on his cheek first? Because I feel like there's a big red mark of blood.
I noticed that, too.
I think he hits him on his cheek and it explodes because there's blood everywhere.
Oh, it definitely does. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bam.
Flies off his cheek.
Hits him in the right cheek. Drops down, makes a 90-degree turn.
Oh.
Somehow gets stuck to his left shoulder.
Like under his neck almost.
Yeah. And it's just sitting there. And he's understandably tapping his face like, what the hell was that? And then, kind of like if you get hit with something, you're like, okay, am I
right.
Constantly tapping yourself, am I okay? Any blood? And he puts his hand down on his left shoulder, and it's right about here that he realizes, wait a minute.
There's a big feathery ball on my neck.
Now, at this point, they are 90 degrees to the ground.
Yeah, they're straight up.
They're going straight up. His buddy on the right still has no idea what's going on. It's right when they get to the top and they start going over the crest of it. Yeah. He finally looks down and sees that there's a bird sitting on his lawn. And he just
that face.
He takes it up and throws it at his friend.
That face, though, because you don't know what it is. You just maybe like some piece of clothing or whatever.
Yeah.
So when you see that it's a live animal attached to your...
Well, there's no way.
When you see that it's a formerly live animal now attached to your neck.
And he...
he may be still alive.
He actually did like the Italian, like, hey, what's it gonna do? What's that bird hitting me in the face?
The spicy bird.
And it's right around this time where his buddy finally realizes something's going on. He looks over. He's like, what the hell, man? You got blood all over yourself.
Oh.
They come up over the top of the coaster. He forgets about it because now he's like, hey, we're back on a roller coaster.
All right, I guess let's have fun for the next 20 seconds.
Puts his arms back up and enjoys the ride down.
Oh, man. Oh, that poor bird.
Yeah. Poor bird. So if you go to the show description, you can see that video in there.
Oh, man.
Poor guy.
Fabio gets all the attention. That weird-looking dude's never going to get the news.
No, not at all. Well, yeah, Fabio got hit in the face with a bird.
Yeah, it was a pigeon or something, wasn't it?
I think it was at Six Flags Great Adventure
in
New Jersey.
Bloodied up his face and...
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. Hopefully in that case, it was Fabio's blood. This case, that was bird blood.
It's definitely the bird's blood. We're going to get to anything else, or are we... Nah, I don't think that. Not that.
Boy, I think it's probably high time to head to the way we close shop every week, Steve.
That's right, for the Fast Four.
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's weird. I feel like I've been at this podcast for a lot of weeks now.
Yeah.
Did you misspeak? Do you want to refire that intro? And
no, it's the...
What'd you say?
Here we go.
Fast
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
4.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I've just been mistaken. Well, you could have told me weeks ago I've been doing more than I needed to. We've got the Fast 4 or 5 this week. Why don't we...
You know something?
Oh, no.
It's actually the Fast 5, Kyle.
Oh, boy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Here we go with fruit pie, or what was that one around Christmas?
Fruitcake.
Fruitcake.
Come on, man.
Fruitcake. I hope I get like a wall color paint or black curtain.
Yeah. What do you think of grass?
Fake fireplace.
All right, whose turn is it?
Oh, that's a fair question. Why don't I just lead the charge, because I don't know.
Fast 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Actually, you know what? We probably should have flipped a coin, but we don't do a coin here, Steve.
Oh, we don't.
I've got one person I know who we can ask who should go first.
Who's that?
It's Rocky.
Oh, Rocky, who do you think should go first for the Fast 5?
If I can change,
What?
and you can change. Everybody can change.
Well, I'll tell you, that's pretty conclusive. I better go first.
All right, go first.
Fast 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, Fast 5, my first one this week. Easter Sunday.
Oh, it's a wonderful time to spend time with the family.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Fast and Furious 8.
And now, wait, no, that's not what it's called, though,
Sorry.
right? It's
Fate of the Furious.
Fate of the Furious. P. Billy 4, pour some out.
Rest in peace.
Hopefully they...
Gotta be mentioned, right?
Yeah, I saw some quote. We'll get to it.
Masters Sunday.
I heard it was really exciting. I didn't watch it. I'm just not can't really get down with watching golf.
Don Rickles.
Oh, R.I.P.
Right. Fargo.
I need to watch it.
Right.
I was told last week that's a show that I absolutely need to watch,
right.
and I committed to watching it, and I still haven't watched it. I never saw the movie. Haven't watched any of it.
You're in luck because they're non-sequential. They're totally separate. You can jump in next week with season 3 and be totally fine.
Wait, so every
it's like
episode...
an anthology. So it's like American Horror Story-ish, where each season's a totally different story in a totally different area with totally different characters.
Okay.
So season 3 starts next week. It is an amazing show.
Okay.
Seasons 1 and 2 the last few years, but based on, I guess, the filmmaking, the writing style of Fargo, the Coen brothers movies from, I think, 1996. So it's always revolving around a murder mystery that'll take place in the first episode, and then the next, however many, will be like an unraveling. But this TV show gets insanely good actors and actresses. Like last year they had... Obviously, Landry.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Landry,
Jesse Plemons.
They had Kirsten Dunst. I mean, like, people who star in movies doing this TV show because it's so good and so well regarded. So that starts next week, Steve. I think you should jump on board.
I definitely will. Definitely.
Don Rickles.
Yeah,
that's a bummer, but it's hard to. I mean, 90.
Exactly.
I mean, it's sad, but because you were seeing him on late night and other things up until recent.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
And still, not as quick, but still the same jokes, the same, timing and everything that he's done for 50 years. That's a guy who, no, I'm not a comedian at all, but like when I make jokes and I'm laughing or whatever, that's the style of humor that I go with.
Well, I heard an interview, like NPR replayed an interview that they had done with him a couple of years ago, where he was talking about his style, and he said he was just like, I don't tell jokes, I don't go up there and tell a joke. His thing, he exaggerated regular life.
Yeah,
and a
That's
lot of
funnier.
Yeah, exactly, because he was taking those stereotypical comments of a race or an ethnicity or gender or religion and just pumping them up that much more. And they played some audio from a show that he did in like 1968, and it was edgy for now. So imagine how it would have sounded.
68.
Yeah, imagine how it would have sounded 50 years ago if you're sitting at the Palms Casino or whatever it was, and you're like, oh my God, this guy is saying that?
One of my dreams is to actually get up and do an open mic.
Yeah.
I want to do whatever it is, 5 minutes. But I'm so terrified because that's my humor. So if I get up there and either, having a day where I'm just not on the top of my game or don't see anything observational I can talk about or make fun of, I'm going to freeze. I'm going to feel like a piece of garbage. But that is an absolute dream that, I got Dirk telling me to get up there and do it. I've got people like, no, go, you should do it. I think it'd be really good. But I'm trying to figure out the level of buzzed I need to be, because I think I know the level of buzz I need to be to do karaoke. And I'm trying to.
It would have to be so much more for stand-up.
But I can't because I don't. We know how that goes. We recorded a podcast in that state.
The lost.
It's
episode.
Garbage. Nobody wants to hear that.
I think that. Okay, so given the situation, what are you more terrified of? Doing 5 minutes, not even 5, doing 3 minutes at open mic night, or going to the doctor and getting a shot?
Those are really bad. It's weird because I'm, again, like, I think I'm okay public speaking.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily afraid of crowds and that interaction.
Right.
I'm just afraid of freezing and bombing.
Well, what you have to,
that's only a chance.
But you also
where if
have
I look at the needle, I'm guaranteed physical torture.
But also look at the, like, you're going to an open mic night.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're walking out on stage in front of 3,000 people.
Yeah, give me the open mic.
Yeah,
because there's that chance too that what if it's great and people love it and they laugh really hard for 3 minutes. There's no chance of me leaving the doctor and going, that felt really good. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Give me the open mic.
So if you do decide to do the open mic, we can obviously feature it on the Steve and Kyle podcast. Right?
I would need massive amounts of persuasion and ego stroking to be able to mentally be able to do that. Because I said, I can't be drunk. Because if you're drunk, it's going to be worse. I need to have a few beers in the 3 to 6 range to feel acceptable enough to get up there. And even then, I think I'd love to do. I think once I got up there, and if I even heard a few scant laughs, I think that would so suck me in that I would really enjoy it that time. Though, now not to the point where I'd be like, all right, that's it, done with this. I'm hitting the road,
quitting my job, and going on tour.
But like I could see myself doing that.
Yeah,
not and having fun to do that as a way to put myself out there and do something different. But boy, getting over that initial hump to me sounds horrendous.
Yeah. I don't think there's any chance I could ever do that.
Really?
No.
Even with a pre-planned, memorized 3-minute set. Let's say you're guaranteed one laugher.
like
you got
one person.
No,
laughs
let's say like
once,
60% of the crowd, you get them good to the point where like you feel like it hits you. You know,
the adrenaline.
You're guaranteed one.
No, I don't want to. I want to make this as realistic as possible. Like you can't guarantee anything in this.
Okay,
there can be no guarantees. I can't think in that frame, in that mindset for this. I can only think realistically, not optimistically. I don't think I could ever do it.
I need a push, but boy, do I want to, just to do something different, you know, and actually try something that I think would be fun and like help me try to be different. But boy, that's going to take a push.
I think you need a joke writing partner.
You think that's what I need?
You ever think about that?
But that's what I think. I don't think I would be able to go up there with a list of jokes. I feel like I'd go up there with a few stories I want to tell and see where those took me.
Okay.
Kind of like we do with this podcast once a week.
Yeah. It's different, though. We can't, because we know that the people are laughing on the other end.
There's I can almost
just cracking up.
Listen, when I'm at my side gig tomorrow, and I'm in my heart, I know somebody just laughed. That's what really brings me back here every Monday.
You're just going to point to the sky and say, You're welcome, America.
That's what brings me back here every week, that and that paycheck. I mentioned Masters Sunday. Obviously, an exciting final round yesterday. Sergio Garcia finally gets the monkey off his back, wins his first major. Mm-hmm. Late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
Hate the guy.
He was supposed to be really big.
Yeah, when he was 19, he was the next big thing, him and Tiger, you know, and the problem is he probably would have won a ton more tournaments if it weren't for Tiger. But, 1999 was the last major he missed, and he was like an amateur, and he just declared pro, but he was supposed to be a big deal and kind of got lost in the shuffle of the superstar era of golf, you know, with Tiger and Phil and then Rory. But no, that was exciting yesterday. I watched that Sunday evening at home. Gorgeous setting. I mean, outside of the obvious idea that they don't appreciate minorities and women.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
It's definitely still weird.
Yep.
But no, that was an exciting, because that's the day people who don't care about golf, a lot of them will tune in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very exciting to watch because the crowds are packed, cheer, you know, hinging on every move of the ball, and oh man, it was exciting yesterday. Fate of the Furious, I mentioned.
Yeah, I saw that once again, Vin Diesel made a "We love you, Pablo" statement.
Right, yeah, another heartfelt. Everybody, you got to go watch Vin's heartfelt speech.
Wasn't a minute that we were on set that we weren't thinking about you, Pablo.
Boy, I tell you what, there's no better respect to P. Billy 4 and pouring a little out.
That's right.
You know, we've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag rest in peace, P. Billy 4.
P. Billy 4.
We do that.
What do you think about Fast and the Furious viewing party, where we just sit down and watch them all?
All 7.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything more. I'm in.
Do you have them all on DVD?
No, I have a few, but I would have no qualms buying the Blu-ray box set.
Okay.
Because for the most part, I really enjoy that series. I actually had a way too long conversation with a friend a week ago ranking the 7 films. So I've thought about this extensively, Steve, and I've narrowed it down, and I think I would be willing to watch all 7 of them.
Even again. Tokyo Drift?
Tokyo Drift's better. Tokyo Drift's in my top half.
Tokyo Drift didn't have Vin Diesel, though.
No.
It didn't have. Did it have Paul Walker either?
Yeah. Tokyo Drift is in the top half of my favorite Fast and the Furious movies.
Although Vin Diesel was in it. He had a cameo
at the very end. Right.
But that was when they got the guy that basically was Paul Walker. Right. He looked just like him, but he had a southern accent.
I liked 3, which is Tokyo Drift, better than I liked 2, which was Too Fast, Too Furious. And I think I may have liked 3 better than I liked number 6.
Boy, I don't think I've seen anything past... I know I saw Tokyo Drift, but I don't think I saw the second one. I think I skipped.
That's a good one to skip, Steve.
Leapfrogged over that one.
It's a really good one to
skip.
All
right, well, we're going to have to set this up then.
I think we should do it.
Find a weekend, and we'll do maybe we'll do a viewing party where we just watch the entire thing.
Yeah, we Periscope in between or during.
Yeah. See, we should get some comfortable chairs in
do it here.
Put it up on that screen up there. Put a camera up there.
That'd be great. That's a good idea.
Talk right into the cameras.
Yes.
Really, we don't even need... These chairs are pretty comfortable.
They're okay, as long as I can fix my recliner on mine. I think
so
I'll be in
make
good
that
shape.
click noise.
Well, click, and now I think we're at a point now with this one where
that's reclined.
it doesn't recline. But like 2 weeks ago, I was doing that, like pushing back, and I was and I almost shot into the wall. But no, I am, as of this morning, had no intention of seeing it. I am now going to the opening show of Fate of the Furious Thursday night.
Nice.
I'll be able to report back on where it now fits.
You going by yourself on that one?
No, a friend asked, and I don't like to say no. And I probably would have seen it eventually. And this sounds ridiculous to say it considering the movie series we're talking about.
Yeah.
This one just feels over the top.
I've seen... Wait a minute, what was the
submarine?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought there was some
bad stuff.
Yeah.
Some really bad stuff.
So are there cars on the submarine?
You're asking the wrong guy. I've been so tuned out because rest in peace, P. Billy 4, it was the way they sent him off in 7 made me cry like such a baby that I didn't know if I could come back. I didn't know if I could come back.
My friend.
There's like 4 movies.
And they're driving and the cars.
Steve, I remember. I know what you're doing. There's like 3 or 4 movies.
Wait, so he didn't die in the movie?
No. He's retired. They didn't want to kill him off, so he retired with his wife. Because it was actually cut into the movie anyway. He was struggling with being a father, like, because he still missed the old lifestyle of being with
a street racer.
Well, at this point it wasn't. At this point it was being more of like a kind of a vigilante. The whole film series is, they're pulling off bank heists and things like that. And so he missed like the lifestyle of being that crazy. Instead, he's at home with a kid, and then by the end of the movie, he finds that peace and solitude. And the rest of the gang say, we can't ask him anymore. He's out, type of deal. So. There's like 3 or 4 movies that will make me cry. No questions asked. That's there. That's probably number 2. That is number 2.
Wow.
Oh, God. That scene. That scene, man, with the cars. They look at you.
And the not really good CGI.
No. How dare you? It wasn't CGI. I think the final scene was actually pulled from the first movie.
Was it?
And then they aged him or whatever and did his hair. Because you can tell some of the CGI in the movie or when they used his brother as a stand-in.
Yeah.
So,
all right. What else?
Easter Sunday.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hate it.
I like Easter.
Hate it.
Jesus doesn't appreciate that. I'll tell you what.
Sorry, PK.
Yeah. Exactly. You're the one saying that PK's got the anger issues.
I've never done big Easter things, and I think as I get older and more surly, I tend to shy away from family anything.
See, for me, I love Easter because of the memories of it. We would always go to my grandparents' house in South Carolina. We'd go down there every year. And my grandmother just passed away last week, and it's a lot of memories like that. I love Easter. I love Easter. I love Thanksgiving. Those are by far my 2 favorite holidays.
And Thanksgiving still holds a lot of water for me, but Easter I'd prefer if I could just skip it. But again, like I said, I am on a thing now where...
You got candy, though? You get an Easter basket?
Do I?
Yeah.
I'm 30. I don't think I've gotten one in like 20 years.
Well, then that's a problem.
So, how do I get the invite to the McKiernan Easter?
You want to come to it?
I mean...
you can come up to Annette's parents'
or
house.
my lovely bride's family. One will have a basket of candy. The other one probably won't.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come along. We got the little... Those little Reese's peanut butter eggs.
Oh, those are the best, aren't they? Aren't those
That's
the
the best thing about Easter.
See, I'm a
except
sucker.
for Jesus.
I'm a sucker.
I mean, he did do that. Still not sure why it's Good Friday when he died that day. But
I wish I didn't step on it. I think I stepped on it. But I'm going to try to get that. No, man, I don't know. It's never been my cup of tea. And I think like 10, 12 years ago, my mom decided, hey, I don't want to do family Easter anymore because I don't want to cook for everybody and do all that. So... and that's totally fine with me because, like I told you, I have been shooting for Family Free 2017.
How's that working so far? Have you?
This will be the first one. Actually, it's more important for me for Christmas because with my wife and her parents who are not together, so there's at most we could end up having like 4 Christmas parties or 5, and I hate it because I love the holiday season. And I despise being pulled in every direction and having this many obligations. I like to sit and watch stupid Christmas movies, drink winter beer, and eat garbage and sit on the couch.
You just got to move far away. Move away from your family.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to have to go. I'm going to head south, aren't I?
Yeah.
Sorry,
so
I'm
that's
just
it.
getting the glove.
Sitting here working the glove in. Was that it? That was all your
That
five?
was 5, man.
All right, time for my fast 5, of course. 5.
Fast 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, wouldn't be a fast 5 if I didn't get a little political. Syria.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Number 2, Tony Romo.
Good for him. Good for him.
Steve Bannon.
One step away from the oust.
Tim Tebow.
Please, just make it stop. I've said it before. Make it stop.
He's a killer, man. He's crushing them.
2 single-A home runs, and we act like he's going to be on the Mets by August.
Number 5, Trump's helicopter.
Oh, I'm unfamiliar.
Oh, you haven't heard the breaking news?
You got me!
I got you with breaking news.
Oh, man. Well, okay, I'm glad we're starting there. Hit me.
You
What
ready?
is going on with Trump's helicopter?
Are you ready for this breaking news?
Hang on. Is it costing us millions of dollars?
Probably.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
that's
not the crux of the story, though.
No, this is now I'm not referring to Marine One either, the official.
This is Trump.
This is Trump's helicopter.
Trump's personal helicopter. Now, can he use that?
Well, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
But here's the story. Trump's helicopter was on the helipad at Mar-a-Lago this weekend.
Right.
That's the story. That's it. And every news outlet has run with it for some reason.
There's only thing I could think is that you must have missed something. So one more time,
the breaking news.
Could you give me the breaking news, please?
Trump's personal helicopter,
right? The Trump copter.
Was on the helipad at Mar-a-Lago this weekend. Mar-a-Lago, the quote-unquote winter White House.
Did he leave the engine running?
Everybody is all up in arms because Trump is not allowed to use that helicopter. Basically, when you're the president, you have to, if you're flying, it has to be in either Marine One, which is the official presidential helicopter.
Security stuff, right?
Or Air Force One.
Okay.
Well, his helicopter landed at Mar-a-Lago over the weekend, sat on the helipad for the weekend, and then it took off and flew away. And this was breaking news.
I'm to the point where I almost feel like I need to Google it because there must be a scandal. Twitter will tell me that there must be a scandal where he is somehow costing us billions of dollars. Okay, because I get it. We have, we have kind of diverted. We don't talk about politics as much because that's not what anybody's here for. But this is nothing. This is
not political.
If this is what we're going to be nitpicking,
I mean,
it's time to get priorities back in order.
Look, I'm not a fan of the guy.
Yeah,
but
raise questions.
If he's got a helicopter, he can park the thing wherever he wants.
Trump can't use his personal. That's in their post Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Vanity Fair, this is the way they worded this headline about this breaking news story. Donald Trump wants you to know he still has a helicopter. So I get it. The majority of America in the 60% range, 65% range, does not like Donald Trump as president. Mm-hmm. I get it. That is a terrible and misleading headline, and this is a dumb issue.
I mean, there are many reasons to not like the president, whether it be this president or, the 40 whatever previous presidents.
That's dumb.
But
that's really dumb.
I mean, the guy, he's got a helicopter. They went as far as to interview the local fire department.
Well, that's the most important area of the fire department.
And the chief was like, yeah, we didn't know that the helicopter would be here this weekend. What does it matter that it's not like they
need to be informed?
It's not like they called ahead and said, hey, just a heads up, we're going to crash land a helicopter. Maybe be there with the tanker to put it out.
My God.
So, yeah, that was, maybe try to keep your nose on the headlines a little bit more moving forward there, Kyle, because that's important stuff.
That's it. You know what? I apologize. I try to be on top of the news for this podcast every week, and I let you and everyone else down.
All right. Number 4 was Tim Tebow.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, keep him away. This is already beyond exhausting. My friend texted me last night with the exact words, wait, you're telling me not thousands of players have actually hit home runs in single-A baseball?
I don't think you're giving him enough credit.
I feel like I am. He's
man's got the power of the Lord on his side.
That's obvious.
It's
because
the week of Easter.
Yeah. So are you telling me right now this was a resurrection of Jesus Christ home run?
He moved that boulder away from the cave, and he poked his head out.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm Tim Tebow, and I'm here to hit 2 home runs in my first 2 games."
Yeah, that did happen.
And he crushed him.
I tell you what,
first at bat, Kyle. First at bat.
At this
Jesus
rate,
didn't even do that.
This rate, Steve, he is going to be at short season single A ball by the time he's 30. And you know where you go from there? Fall league. You know where you go from there? Training camp. You know where you go from there is double A. By the time he's 36, he could be a real floundering triple A outfielder.
He's going to make it.
I hate it. It's not
going to make it.
He's not going to make it.
All right,
I will put a long con bet on this right now that Tim Tebow will never sniff the majors.
I'm not going to take that bet because I'm a smart person. But boy, will I say I told you so.
Right, yeah, I hope you do.
All right, number 3 was Steve Bannon.
Yeah, seems like he's on the way out.
Ousted, yeah, and I read some article where it was basically by some former Breitbart editor or something, basically saying that if Bannon gets completely axed,
they're taking
from the White House.
They're hatcheting Trump.
Trump will the smear campaign will be unprecedented.
Let it happen. I want this thing to become a bigger S show than it already is.
I kind of like the professional wrestling aspect that is.
Oh yeah, I want Paul Heyman out there.
That is our government.
Yeah, I want Paul Heyman talking about the White House and how his client's going to come beat down whoever from Breitbart writes another column.
Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting times.
All right, number 2 on that list was Tony Romo.
Yeah, I say good for him. He did nothing. I don't think the Cowboys mishandled him at all.
Boy, I don't know though. It sure seems like it because he was going to be released.
It seemed like if he had wanted to be released, he would have been. The way it sounds now in hindsight, the way it looks is he was debating, should I even keep doing this? Mm-hmm. And he decided to not. I feel like if he had went to Jerry Jones and said, hey, I want to keep playing, Jerry Jones would have done right by him and cut him or released him so he could go anywhere he wanted because there's nobody trading for him. That wasn't going to happen. So, but I feel like he just decided, and I said good for him because he could have played.
Yeah.
I think he could still play probably 3 more years in this league because he's a really good quarterback. But for him to decide to say, you know what, got a wife, I got kids, I can make, a couple $1 million, sitting in a booth once a week. Kudos to him. I'm looking forward to it because the current color commentator for CBS football is one of the worst in history. Phil Simms.
Phil Simms, yeah.
He is atrocious.
So Romo will be with Jim Nantz?
Jim Nantz, Tony Romo. I'm looking forward to hear him. I mean, it's a tough transition.
Oh God, I can't imagine it. Well, a lot of people in the broadcast field have tweeted about that. They're like, well, wait a minute. The guy has that's a position that you work. I mean, you work
pay
for
your
years.
Dues. Yeah.
Yeah, you pay your dues. You're sideline guy for a little while, and
I think you're going to see probably some people leave CBS because now essentially that way's blocked for them.
Yeah,
I mean Tony,
right? Exactly.
Unless something happens where I'd say there's still an outside chance. Let's say in a year, someone comes a call and he's got the itch.
Yeah,
well, $12 million better than 2.
Plus, you also got to remember the whole Dennis Miller debacle when he was on Monday Night Football.
Awful. Failed miserably, right?
Yeah, talking about like Spartacus and the Phoenicians.
Yeah,
this is kind of fun for like 1 week,
right? And now odds are this is going to be a more by the numbers, straight laced, call of the game.
Yeah,
it's weird for me to see CBS spend that money because I get it. He's probably going to be an asset in the field, but you going to watch a CBS game because Tony Romo's on it?
No.
I mean, nobody's really
nobody's watching any game.
You just hope he doesn't offend the fans more.
No one's watching any game because of who's calling the game.
Right. You're actually getting people the other way. You're not watching a game because they're like, well, I don't want to listen to that guy. I'll listen to it on the radio.
Granted, I'm a very casual sports fan, but
right.
I've never had the choice and said like, oh, well, I got to watch this broadcast because so-and-so's on it.
Yeah.
And there was also another bit of Romo in the news. I guess that Tony Romo and Mark Cuban are pretty close.
Yeah, Dallas.
Both being in the Dallas area for so many years. Mark Cuban, of course, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are going to sign Tony Romo to a one-day contract.
Was it a signing? I guess I didn't read the specifics. I just saw that there was some outrage on the internet, which is true with everything. I thought that they were just going to let him sit in uniform on the bench.
Well, I think that in order to do that, they have to sign him.
They?
Yeah, I saw that they were going to sign him to a one-day contract, and then he was going to sit on the bench.
See, that's fine with me. It's a Dallas icon. I mean, are sports writers getting outraged when a kid with terminal cancer gets to be a whoever for a day?
Well, if it's the guy that we played last week who got pissed that the Sports Illustrated for Kids writer got to ask a question,
right? They're outraged.
Yeah, but I mean, that how cool would that be, though? You see Tony Romo, because apparently the Mavericks are going to miss the plaurplayoffs.
Yeah, so
they got
fine.
like 4 or 5 games left.
It's just a ceremonial thing.
But how cool would that be if they put him in?
Oh, can you imagine?
Because he played. I read an interview with his high school basketball coach, and his high school basketball coach said everyone assumed he was going to go to college
for basketball
because he was a better basketball player than he was a football player.
Maybe as a show or something, if there's a late technical foul, check him in to shoot the free throws type of deal. But I think you're going to run into some legitimate outrage if he is actually, minute 3 of the third quarter, and it ends up affecting like a team going for the playoffs.
What if he goes out there and he just dominates?
Right, like 18 points in 6 minutes.
Yeah,
like gets the interview on the side of the court after the game. Like, I'm just trying to make plays out there and trying to make my team better. I'm not a shoot first guy, so it's nice to be able to get a few looks. All
right, and number 1 on the list. Let's end on a high note.
Yeah.
Syria.
Oh yeah,
that's terrifying.
It's scary what happened.
Are we are we like at war right now?
That's what I texted my friend because who does some contract work with the government. That like, hey, so are we just at war now? It's like no, and kind of explained some stuff to me. Yeah. What I got sidetracked with was because I'm 30 now, I DVR 60 Minutes and watch that. So we watched some 60 Minutes Sunday, and late in the episode they did like because they can be very current.
Yeah.
And so they did a thing where they essentially said, Assad, this is what happened with the Tomahawk missile. We talked to him in 2013 and asked him about stuff. And so they played a short clip about him mentioning how he would be willing to use, or he wouldn't rule out chemical weapons being used, but then said, well, it might not be me. It might be someone else in the region. But have you ever heard him speak?
Mm-mm.
Very large lisp.
Really?
Takes away from the intensity and the fear that normally you'd feel because you're like, he could use a speech therapist.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, So, yeah, that's what distracted me about him. But, still a terrifying idea and premise. Lucky, I feel more comfortable knowing this wouldn't be a 1v-all type of thing if there has to be some steps taken, because if you don't take a stand as allies against somebody who's just dropping sarin on his own people, then
it's not good.
You're not going to come off well in the world's eye.
Yeah. Definitely a scary, scary world that we are in right now.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, puppies, kittens, a lot of happiness out there. Yeah. If you need some happiness in your life, go follow. It's a new Twitter account I followed called Everything Goats.
Everything Goats.
Baby goats.
Nice.
Go follow them. There's the always lovable We Rate Dogs. Those are hilarious. Go search that. Cute Emergency. Make sure you follow all those, as well as ABC News, your news outlets, all that, and at Stephen Kyle.
Of course, yeah. I mean, the staples in life.
That's what I want someone's Twitter follow list to just be like 8 things: dogs, goats, Stephen Kyle, 5 news outlets.
So I'm thinking that maybe tomorrow after our softball practice, maybe we'll have a little video update, or if I don't know, if something happens, let's do a quick little.
We probably won't release it right then unless we do a Periscope.
No. Yeah, we'll do it. I don't know if we find it. If anything funny happens, maybe we'll release it later on this week, like around the 14th, 15th.
Yeah, worthwhile discussing. It's always nice to toss one in there.
Yes, sir. Another episode comes to an end.
Doesn't feel like it. My God, when did we get here? Noon?
Seriously. This was a bit long.
Can you imagine if we started at our time that we initially started with, like our first few episodes, which I think we started at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We would be wrapping up at like 8:15.
Oh,
and I'd be missing Monday Night Raw.
That's true. So we're going to be back next week on the 18th, I guess, April 18th.
Yeah.
We'll have another new episode. In the meantime, download, subscribe, review the show on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, Libsyn, or wherever you buy your podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at Steve and Kyle. From there, you can follow us individually as well. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/Steve and Kyle.
Yep.
That's about it, right?
Boy, that is every avenue to get a hold of us. Please do. Please leave a screenshot of your review. Tell your friends about the show. Be eligible for 2 minutes of awkward conversation. Well worth your time, and more importantly, our time.
Talk to you next week. See ya.
It's time to be.
It is salted caramel season at your local Big B Coffee. Sweet and slightly salty perfection. The salted caramel lineup is back. And new for 2025, bundle up. Introducing Big B Bundles. Flavor meets value. Choose $5, $7, or $9 irresistible combinations. Be happy, be cozy, and be bundled at Big B Coffee.
It's time to be.
Discover amazing deals and ultimate convenience at your nearby family fair. Get exclusive weekly offers, collect rewards, join clubs, and clip digital coupons for additional savings. From winter must-haves to daily essentials, find everything at fantastic prices. With pickup and delivery services, grocery shopping has never been more convenient. Don't miss out on our weekly ad showcasing fresh produce, local goods, delicious baked items, top-notch brands, and premium meats and seafood. Visit your local family fair today for all your grocery essentials.
For 100 years, Berger Chevrolet has been rooted in Grand Rapids, serving West Michigan's automotive needs. From vehicle sales and service to parts and collision, the team at Berger Chevrolet is here for you. When you're ready to buy your next vehicle, come to Berger and find out why Chevrolet is West Michigan's top-selling brand. Since 1925, Berger Chevrolet has been your West Michigan Chevy dealer. Visit us in Grand Rapids at the corner of 28th Street and Breton Road, or start shopping online at bergerchevy.com. It's always better at Berger.